Sports Encyclopedia. U.S. Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut. Yeah. Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran. No looking stupid, we ain't losing. Grind like something to prove it. Came to conclusion that is proven. Yeah, I'm proven with a reliable source. Straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to your side. Worldwide, we in your city. Keep it 150. We never change what's happening. Hurdle and get it cracking. No capping, we never lack it. Light them up, better stay in your lane.
There's only three Lakers that I would not look the other way if I saw them motherfuckers coming. That's Kareem, that's Worthy, and that's Coop. The rest of them damn Lakers, fuck them.
That's bullshit that Robert Parrish said.
Coop, you know I got your back like a backpack, boy. Fuck Robert Parrish. You know he ain't shit. It's all good. You know, fuck the Celtics, all of them.
We see you like shit, you fucking slap dicks. Issues get pressed so past it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap. Smitty and Jason Brown, we killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it.
Who is that? To put the fear of God in these motherfuckers!
What up, man? We're in the building. It's Talk That Talk Tuesday, so talk, and I will talk back. We got a loaded show with special guest, co-host extraordinaire, our main man, Big Shaun King. He goes by Big King. We call him Little King. Super Bowl champ. We'll bring him in here in a minute, but let's start this show off. We got a banger. Dr. Jesse Morris will be here right out the gate to talk about the NFL update, so I'll make it quick. Drake may be the best quarterback in the NFL right now. But pause. Behind Matthew Stafford, of course. Listen, he's doing well. Hasn't thrown for a 300-yard game yet, but yet leads the league by a smidge over Matthew Stafford, but also has played one more game. I'm high on him, listen, but not ready to anoint him as the next Tom Brady just yet. Pump our brakes. This isn't ESPN. This is the realest show on planet Earth. We don't anoint and put the pussy on the pedestal in the first fucking year and a half. He isn't turning the ball over. Kudos to him. He has a great run game and a very physical defense who hits people. They remind me of the old Belichick teams when Vrabel actually played on them. But is May the best in the league right now? No. But he is doing very well. And he has his team with the best record in football. They're on a bye this coming up week. So Broncos, Rams, other teams may be able to catch them. There are lots of rumors coming out of Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin in a disgruntled locker room, plus other swirling rumors. The Lanestein files just are continuing to drop by college-age girls, texting, screenshots, Snapchats, you name it, they got it. And Kentucky hires Will Stein as the next head football coach. UCLA focuses on James Madison, Coach McChesney, and the Penn State Nittany Lions are eyeing my good friend Kalani Sitake, and they want him bad. LDS is trying to get with the church and trying to figure out how to keep Kalani. A poly with some Amish in northern Pennsylvania? Shit. Interesting. And Ryan Clark, you simp-ass little boy. Man up and say my name. Stop hiding behind that RC pennant on your chest and that ESPN logo, homeboy. If you got something to say, say it. But you sound like a straight simp. A beta male defending Mina, who you know don't know football. You know she don't know. You just defend her to defend her like a simp do. Dr. Jesse Morris joins us. Steve Kim, special co-host extraordinaire, Super Bowl champ. We're going to bring him in the right way. Tulane legend, last undefeated season. May replace Coach Sumrall. Who knows? Tampa Bay Buck, Super Bowl champ. Our main man, Shaun King, joins the show.
What's up, baby? What's
Can you
up,
talk?
man?
You hear me?
Yeah, what's going
Oh,
on?
okay. Finally got audio.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You see me repping. Hardly home, but always repping, baby.
Hey, Shaun, before we get into a long soliloquy from you at the Cigar Lounge in Vegas, and before you just start talking shit, we got a special guest joining us right out. He's on special time because he's doing PRP injections and all kind of shit. He's fixing NFL players and NBA, college, all these different things. He's from your neck of the woods, Shaun. Well, he's not, but he is now. Our main man, Dr. Jesse Morris, joins the show right out the gate. Doc.
Good morning.
What's up, brother? Sean King's from down there somewhere, kind of where you are. So he kind of is familiar, what's going on down there. And but he's no longer invited back there. So I just want to throw that out there.
South Florida's not friendly to you anymore?
Yeah. South Florida they don't like him down there no more. Since he won Super Bowl and shit, they don't really like him no more.
Man, I'm the favorite son, brother. I'm always good.
All right, Doc. First of all, congratulations to the New England Patriots for actually playing tackle football. Shaun, if you didn't know, Doc used to work for the Patriots, so he's familiar with all of them. So I love what they're doing, and I listen. If you're going to tippy toe down the sideline, hit their ass. I'm so tired of people defend Doc. I'm so tired of these motherfuckers coming out defending. Oh my God, it's the hardest quarterback. I haven't seen this quarterback be hit this hard. I'm glad Michael Irvin. I'm glad other guys came out and said that was a normal hit, an everyday hit in the NFL when we played. Regular hit, Shaun. How many times you get hit like that, Shaun?
I was smart enough to run out of bounds. Like I thought the announcer made a poignant point when they said, "Listen, a couple years ago, the NFL really started trying to protect the quarterback, and then the quarterback start pushing the line. They start getting into the gray." And they say, now the league is saying, all right, now, y'all want to play game. You play kid games, you get kid gifts, So I think they're sending a message to these quarterbacks. The rules are in place to protect you, but don't try and take advantage of the rules.
Yeah. Shaun, what audio are you using? Are you on a mic?
I'm on my normal. I'll go out and come back in again.
All right, something's going on. All right, Doc, so let's break down the injuries going on here. I know
one of the beautiful things about that play was he could have stepped out of bounds, but he tried to get the first down or closer to the first down. But that was a beautiful hit, and he was still in bounds. There was no questions.
Oh yeah.
But here's the concerning part about this for me. He just came back from missing 2 games due to concussion. So It's not like this dude's invincible like Josh Allen. Dude, just Josh Allen's bigger than the majority of the guys that are going to hit him, or at least similar size. Jackson Dart's big, but he's not that big.
No.
And it reminds me of kind of Anthony Richardson, how he would play kind of crazy, and it's just like, bro, you are one injury away from the next injury.
And I admire him trying to bring energy to a team that's bad and fired their coach and lost their soul with Scatterbo. And I admire what he's trying to do, and I'm glad he's nutsy and gutsy. But you got to get out of bounds. And at the end of the day, if you're not, this is what needs to happen. Because Patrick Mahomes gets away with this every single day, and they won't hit him. So I'm glad they hit him, and I'm glad and we'll dive into that later, but we'll see. But how many injuries are going on? Is it crazy right now?
There's a couple injuries. Shout out to the quarterbacks who break their hands and wrists and still want to play the next week. We heard 2 weeks ago that they said, I see he speaks to it.
Hey, Shaun played with it. He was like, I don't know why Aaron Rodgers even missed the game.
Well, it wasn't up to him. He would have missed it. He would have played if they let him. Rodgers fractured 3 bones in his wrist. We don't know which 3. My guess is the primary 2, and then probably the triquetrum, a small little bone in there. But the only primary limiting factor for him is he just can't receive, right? He has to come out a shotgun or whatnot. And that'll be the same issue with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's was kind of fluky. He just landed on it kind of funny. It wasn't anything crazy. Went off to the sideline. They confirmed it was his 4th finger. It was actually the metacarpal, not the phalanx. I thought it was initially going to be the middle phalanx, but it was actually the metacarpal. I'm assuming Dr. Shin did it yesterday. He's very famous hand surgeon in LA, works for L Trash and whatnot. This is his 3rd hand injury in the past 4 years. Two on the left hand and one on the right hand. So, it is what it is. But, the crazy enough, he'll probably suit up next week. Obviously, he'll be limited by what he can do. He'll have to do snaps. He'll have to do a couple other things. Shaun, how do you feel that this will impact his ability, especially with the Eagles knowing what they know about this?
So for context, in week 2, my senior year, a lot like Justin Herbert, I was going down. I went to brace myself with my left hand, and I broke my left navicular bone.
Oh.
And that's one that does not get a lot of blood flow. So I was definitely not going to miss any games. They put like a homemade cast at the training room came up that limited my mobility with my thumb. And listen, I went out and rocked and rolled. The thing that impedes the most is taking a snap from under center for like a week or two. And then once you kind of get over the pain threshold, you can even do that. So I played the rest of the year with a broken navicular bone.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many small little bones in there. It's crazy. And it's really the ligaments in between the bones that really get beat up. Herbert's going to play if he can, and he will. We will see. Most of the quarterbacks who have sustained concussions this year have all missed a game. We've seen that last year. That was not the case. We saw Drake May not miss a game. I think there's one other quarterback that didn't miss a game a couple of years ago, but almost all of them pretty much have mandatorily been ruled out this year. We saw CJ Stroud come back after missing 3 games, Dart after missing 2. I didn't think the Vikings could get worse, but they did last week. And managed to look even worse without 9, quote unquote, JJ McCarthy. But he'll be back this week. Sounds like he's ready to clear the protocol. We saw just awful numbers from Justin Jefferson, unfortunately, and you feel bad for him with that much talent, but he's just kind of stuck.
Hey, Doc, I've got a question. Is that some unspoken rule that exists now? If you're taken out of a game for a concussion, you more than likely miss the subsequent game. The reason I ask is because as we get closer to the playoffs, if said quarterback was to get a concussion, because that looks like the procedure now, would they then more than likely have to miss the subsequent playoff game?
Good question. So last year, if I remember correctly, Jalen Hurts missed the last 2 games with a concussion. That may have been a formality. Maybe the second game would have been fine if I think they were already in seeding, so it didn't really matter. But it is not mandatory. The concussion is traditionally protocol is traditionally a 5-step protocol, and traditionally each step is a day, which is what it means that you can't pass 2 steps in one day. You have to wait at least a day in between each step. And why I say that is because if a guy suffers a concussion on Sunday, he cannot play Thursday. We saw this with T. Higgins last week, where it just not enough days to clear the protocol. Now, we have seen guys get hit, suffer, kind of get the bell rung, but not a quote unquote true concussion, get cleared and actually manage to play on a Thursday. That usually means they weren't in the concussion protocol to begin with. They just took them out for the safety of the player. But if they're traditionally in the concussion protocol, especially for the quarterback, because it's such a mental position, I think they just give them a little extra time. There's also a little bit of a stacking effect for concussions where every time you get one, it has a tendency to kind of add up a little bit. We've seen this with Tua. We've seen this now with CJ Stroud, where he missed 2 games. Now he's missed 3. And Tua's missed, multiple stretches of 4 games because of that. And unfortunately, I think they're just basically trying to protect the player from himself, but also allow the team just to say, oh, well, who's starting on Friday? Oh, he's not ready for the game plan, because you can't really stress the quarterback too much if he's not really feeling well and can't even really function. How can you mentally prepare him for the game until, say, Friday? And it's like, all right, now you got to do crunch time for 2 days. Right. So I think it's probably a strategical thing, too.
No doubt. Doc, let's go around the league. Marvin Harrison Jr., is he coming back?
He came back and then he left again. He came back from his appendix. He had appendicitis, unfortunately.
I guess I wanted to ask, should he come back? Sorry.
So the talent's there. He injured his heel this time. These are painful. These are usually either heel bruises, unlikely to be a heel fracture, but technically could be, or plantar fasciitis. Usually these take about a game to settle in. I think he returned to the game with an insole, but didn't really do a whole lot. And then we saw significant regression from Michael Wilson, not because of the talent, but because in my opinion, they were favoring Marvin Harrison, and that didn't exactly work out like they planned, because I think they could have won that game, but they didn't. We saw Bucky Irving look really good coming back. Basically got full bell cow duties, or pretty close. Not super concerning about his shoulder. I wouldn't be surprised if he has labor repair surgery in his shoulder in the offseason. I think he's just going to have to kind of suck it up and deal with any instabilities or any pain he's dealing with. And that was part of his issue with coming back, was apparently he was not mentally willing to accept that he had an injury, and he kind of got depressed, or whatever the word you want to use is, and it held him out for a little longer than maybe the shoulder itself should have, based on what we know.
Chris Godwin finally looked healthy.
Yeah, Godwin finally looked good. He had that significant left ankle fracture dislocation last year. And unfortunately, it does take a long time to come back from. He then re-injured it maybe about 6 weeks ago or so, and he had a new little fracture in that fibula. I don't know if I have any bone. No, my bones are in the other room. Actually, yeah, right here. So he re-injured that fibula right here. So it's probably the distal. It could have been a mid-body, but he probably had a plate on it. So the plate energy from the new hit just fractured a different part of the same bone. And as a result, it took about another-ish month to allow that to heal before he could come back. And now it looks like he's finally comfortable again, almost like a guy taking a month to come back from an ACL until he really gets acclimated. And then he really looked good yesterday. Emeka, the quality of the targets haven't been there, which is why he's significantly regressed. We also got updates for Jalen McMillan, who's been out the entire season because he had 3 cervical fractures, actually. And Dr. Watkins out, and I think he's in LA, cleared him. So he's going to ramp up. And then Mike Evans could be back this week or next with his clavicle fracture.
Damn.
So they're getting a big chunk of their guys back.
Let me ask you something about Detroit real quick. Is Penei Sewell, and he's in any trouble? I know they got him as questionable. That team is riddled with injuries in Detroit. I know
I have to look at Arnold. They just ended Arnold's season with probably a labral tear or fracture or something. They just ended the season saying he needs surgery. So it's more of a formality if it's 4 games or 10.
They got a lot of guys out, man.
I haven't seen Sewell's injury update. They are playing in 3 days or 2 days, basically. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Usually the guys that are questionable,
they say his ankle.
Yeah. I mean, usually the guy on a short week, they don't really practice at all for physically. So even though it's not really a short week for them, the guy I'm more concerned about in that game is Amon Ra. So Amon Ra, it initially looked like a high ankle. It was a pretty classic high ankle too. He was blocking, and the play came up behind him. They rolled into what looked like his left leg, and then also kind of hit his right leg. So it was hard to tell which one got hit. He left for about a quarter and a half or so, and then they finally ruled him out. Which means if it was super bad, it would have they would have ended it immediately. So it says it's not super bad, but it wasn't obviously mild enough for him to come back. But then they released information, I think it was Friday or Saturday, saying that it was actually a low ankle and not a high ankle, which was a little surprising because of the nature of how it happened.
What's the difference?
Well, so you have 3 ankles. High ankle, which is the freaking dreaded one. You have the lateral classic ankle. Everybody's had these. These are classic basketball injuries. And then you have the medial ankle, which is the inside of the ankle. This ligament complex is so strong that we always injure the lateral one because this one's so strong. But technically, you can injure this one. And if you do, it takes a couple weeks because that ligament complex is so thick and so strong that everything just wants to collapse if it's not strong. So my suspicion is they want to call it a low sprain, which basically means it's not this. Then it's more than likely going to be a medial sprain or a significant lateral sprain, because lateral sprains we deal with all the time, and these guys usually play without much issues. Even the basketball guys play like nothing ever happened. But the medial ankle sprains are just a different beast because they can't plant and cut.
I was gonna tell Shaun, that's concerning for a guy that rolls off every break that he runs. For a guy that runs everything kind of vertical with his stem route, like that right there is going to be hard for a guy like him to do. So that's going to be
Which is why I don't think he's going to play this week. I just don't think he's got enough time to play. And then I think he's got about 10 days after this game. And my suspicion is, unfortunately, he'll just probably come back in that game. So we'll see Tesla have more of a role. Jamison Williams looks really good. Jahmyr Gibbs obviously has been incredible this year. And then I'm excited to see George Pickens eat the Lions secondary alive. He's been incredible. CeeDee Lamb's been really good, but George Pickens was that alpha we always thought he was. He just needed the quarterback and the respect from the defense, leaning towards CeeDee Lamb in order to get there. And if you look at Pickens' numbers versus man coverage, they're even better than CeeDee Lamb's, which are really good. So it'll be interesting to see. I have a feeling that the Cowboys are going to make this a game.
I have a selfish reason for my next question. I may or may not have some of the hard-earned King family dollars invested in the Houston Texans and their championship aspirations. Joe Mixon injured in the preseason. Any chance of his return into the season, playoffs, whatsoever?
So this is a fascinating injury. Mixon's had 2 major injuries in his entire career. One was back, I want to say it was 2019 or 2020, when he probably had a midfoot sprain and he missed maybe 4 games. I think he tried to come back. He re-injured it and missed the rest of the season. So that was the season he missed basically everything. Then last year he had a high ankle sprain, missed 3 games, which was about average, and then looked really good for the rest of the season. Struggled a little bit at the last couple of games of the season. Then we hear in the offseason that he suffered something new, not with the team. We never heard anything ever again. That was it. That was the last true update. And he basically commented last week, I think I retweeted it, saying, like, I'm not done for the year, but every other reporter is basically saying we haven't had any better updates, so we don't have anything to believe. The problem is we don't know the specifics. Is this an ankle? Is this a foot? Is there a fracture? Is this instability? Like, what is going on, and why is this not blatantly obvious? And why is it not affixed by now? Right? This has been lingering since freaking May. So it's like, why is this not addressed? We're in December now. If he was going to come back, I think he would have had to come back in the next, 2 to 3 weeks, and we haven't heard any positive updates to say that he's coming back. So I'm assuming at this point he's done for the year, unfortunately.
Yeah, no doubt. Any other big news? Big guys. Did the kicker last night stub his toe?
Oh my God! I don't think I've ever seen that in my entire life.
Fucking Steve Kim. What's Steve Kim doing, Shaun?
Hey man, the position he put the holder in, man, that was so egregious, dog. I might have fought him in the locker room, dog. The holder was like, "Are you serious?"
I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I thought he blew out his fucking. If he didn't have turf toe, he got something.
That I literally had to screenshot that. I laughed for probably a minute straight. Like I looked at him like, what the hell just happened? And then I literally had to wait for the replay. I'm like, okay, no. That didn't. I thought he just got off balance and he just I didn't want to hit the ball because he was going to fall on his ass. No, he just stubbed the hell out of his toe and hit it about 6-8 inches before the ball and didn't even come close to the ball. So I don't know. He might just wrap it up and be done.
Look at that shit. Like, I don't.
He was almost like a golfer with the yips.
Yeah.
Like they can't swing.
Yeah. He couldn't get the wedge out the sand trap. Like,
Hey, Jackson Dart was priceless on the sideline.
Oh yeah. Sometimes
like,
you just can't. You can't. There's only so much bite you can.
Yeah, you can't do it. Hey Doc, you got a couple questions real quick.
Yep.
Green Bay fan want to know about Jalen Reed, if he plans to play Sunday, and is it concerning long term? And then Devontae Wyatt's ankle fracture. Any word on that?
So Jaden Reed, they announced yesterday he's not medically cleared yet. So this isn't so much his shoulder. I'm not worried about the shoulder. He's clear from that. This is his foot. So he had a Jones fracture, which is this little guy here, the base of the fifth. So there's a significant area of watershed area that just doesn't heal well in anybody. And this is traditionally where they have to have a screw or a plate. Well, the data for this is very specific. If you come back at 8 weeks, at 9 weeks, or at 10 weeks, you're at significant risk of refracture. This is what happened to Greg Olson and why his season and career ended, for what it's worth, to give you an idea. If you come back at 11 plus weeks, the data for re-injury significantly drops. So I think that's roughly where he's at. He's roughly at that week 11. So it's either going to be week 14 or week 15. It just depends on how comfortable. And knowing Green Bay, they are very conservative. They're by far probably the most conservative medical staff that we know of, which is why I knew Josh Jacobs was going to miss 2 weeks ago, because they're just notorious for that. As if this was the Eagles, he would have played probably last week. That's just the nature of the different, how they think. But Jaden Reed will be fine in the long run. You just got to make sure he doesn't have a re-injury to this foot. And this week and probably next week are still in that gray area, which is why they're going to be protective. And they have, Super Bowl aspirations. And Jaden Reed is that guy. He's almost kind of like Rashid Rice. He's kind of like this sneaky kind of underneath guy. He's very good. YPRR is really impressive. Usually over 2. He's always in the top 25 or 30. He doesn't get a lot of volume, but he's very good with the volume. As far as Wyatt, unfortunately, classic ankle fracture, probably fractured both bones, actually, both tibia and fibula, which is done. That's 6-8 months. So that's a big injury. So you can tell just by kind of how he landed and how I think the guy landed on him, and then they had to cart him off. And, that was, the only thing worse than that was if the bone popped out like Scatabo, or if he had a dislocation. So those would have been worse, but this is a bad one. And unfortunately, there's not enough duct tape to fix that one.
Damn. Doc, always a pleasure. Hopefully, maybe we'll see after Thursday night's game with the Dallas and Detroit what ends up happening there. But appreciate you, brother, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
All right, Doc.
Doc was looking sharp this morning.
Oh, yeah, always dampered up. Shaun got BPS. It's always BPS. Don't know why Smitty and Shaun have a problem. It's crazy, right? BPS. I don't get it. It's BPS. Smitty and Shaun are the only ones, though.
Hey, listen. Anytime a guest comes on or leaves, the audio from you to me goes out.
And you got some sort of thing making a noise too.
I'm here by myself, dog. Listen.
No, it's your mic. It's making like a boop boop. Is that me, Bailey, or him? I don't know. We're all fucked up. Yeah, it's something with your mic. We're trying to get it right, man. Shaun's filling in for Big Smitty. So pound the like, man. We got a quote of the day segment. Brought to you by No. You hear me, Smitty? All right, Shaun, Smitty?
Yep, I hear you.
But now you're gone.
I hear you. Is this better?
That's worse.
Okay.
You're delayed now. You had it right earlier. Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you're good. Yeah, I don't know why. It doesn't happen on any other show, Bailey. It's only here for any of our guests for some reason. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway, we got quote of the day, Shaun. Let's break it down. Shaun, you can evaluate them like Smitty does. Quote of the day. Nobody is coming to save you. Get up and be your own damn hero. Quote of the day brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. We don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But Shaun, these motherfuckers think everyone's coming to save them. These players want defense from getting hit on the sideline, trying to gain extra yards, tippy-toeing. They want the fucking ref to be their hero. Get your ass up. Ain't nobody coming to save you. It's unbelievable, Shaun.
I like the quote, though, because it's relevant in life. Like, you got to be your own greatest proponent. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be the person that puts the work in, that believes the most in you, that takes the most time to cultivate everything that you need for your seed to grow.
You got to refresh, bro. Your shit's horrible. It's making a noise. I don't know what it's doing. Why is it today when he's fucking the co-host? The shit is ridiculous. I don't understand. The day he's a co-host, the shit, it fucks up. StreamYard or something's fucked up. We got to figure this shit out.
Yeah, because I'm in my normal location.
I know.
And doing my normal thing.
I don't get it. Anyway, contrary to belief, Shaun, before we dive into this poll question, those who gossip aren't the problem. Those who listen are, contrary to belief. The gossipers are here, Shaun. I don't know. But the motherfuckers who actually listen to them are the problem.
I think this falls under the two things can be true. Because you're a sucker if you're talking behind my back, and you're a bigger sucker if you're supposed to be my partner, and you give an audience to somebody that's talking behind my back.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, crowd, audience, if you guys can hear Shaun fine, then that's all I care about. I can deal with the drama on the noise on my end. If you guys can hear him, then we're good. Who's having a problem? Anything? Oh, so people do hear it. Yeah, it's like a fucking burp. I don't understand what that noise is from. Maybe.
Hold on. Let me unplug this fridge. Maybe that's what you're hearing. Hold on.
Nah. It's the mic. It's definitely not nothing. It's not anything outside. It's when you talk. Maybe restart your computer.
All right.
I would probably try that. Try to restart your computer. Fuck it. And then we'll dive into the poll question. I'll give my take to the poll question before Shaun gets. Well, we got to wait, Bailey, for Shaun to get in real quick. But Shaun, Bailey, while we're waiting, in my lead-in, I mentioned Ryan Clark's bitch ass. Let's show why Ryan Clark will be public enemy number one today when I go at his ass. Another simp that works for pandering ESPN, another CAA representative. Basically, on Monday Night Football last night, took a shot at me again defending Mina, and they just cannot put the quarters discussion to rest. They can't. It's unbelievable. They can't put it to rest. Well, I got time today. Bailey, show the Ryan Clark and what he said about me last night.
And he can also push the football down the field. And the guy he loves to push it down the field to is Kayshawn Boutte, who is back. You see him scan from right to left. The corner safety is sitting short, and he throws it over the top of that. Contrary to popular belief, that is a way that you can beat corners. Shout out to Mina Khan.
So the safety's flat-footed, gets beat over the top like a fucking idiot. And guess what? So anytime I guess quarters gets beat deep, I guess he's going to take a shot at me. Well, I got time today. So we're going to talk about it today. It's unbelievable that I'm living rent-free in their motherfucking heads. Is that what y'all say? I'm living rent-free in their heads? A guy that played in the NFL and played the position don't realize how bad the position was played, that play like that, and doesn't admit that is a fucking joke. That shit is a mockery, dog. That shit is unbelievable. So, I don't know. I guess we're having technical difficulties all around the board, man, because Bailey's fucked up too. You hear me, Shaun?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, much better. Yeah, your computer probably had a glitch in it. Bailey got kicked out.
First of all, you going to stop sneak dissing because I got the brand new Apple iPad 13. I got the newest joint out there.
Is it black?
Hey, don't get mad at me because Ash probably nippling on the wiring back there and your shit short.
It ain't my shit. It ain't my shit. Hey. Hey, so Ryan.
If y'all believe it's JV shit,
nah, it ain't my shit.
Unplugging this, unplugging that.
It's fine now. It's fine now.
Yeah, well, whatever. My
hey, your boy Ryan Clark tried to take a shot at me again, dog. You gonna hit him up?
I saw in the rundown. What'd he say?
It was on pregame for Monday Night Football last night. He took a fucking Bailey got kicked out now, so I don't know what's going on. But basically, he said a flat-footed quarter safety at about 8 yards just stood there, and a seam route passed him for a touchdown. And he said, "Well, quarters coverage could get beat, contrary to belief. Shout out to Mina Kimes." And then fucking him and Booger or whoever the fuck it is, a D lineman, talking about laughing and shit.
That's Marcus Spears.
I live rent-free all day, Shaun. I'm going to live rent-free all day.
That's Marcus Spears.
Marcus Spears, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to live rent-free all day long. Fuck it. Hey, Shaun, So you heard contrary to belief. You heard the quote of the day. Now it's time for the poll question, and let's get into some debating before we get into the rundown. Shaun, should Ole Miss be eliminated from playoff contention?
Go. No, absolutely not. This isn't an Ole Miss problem. This is an NCAA problem. Teams are trying to operate within the guidelines and structure of something that doesn't have guidelines and structure. Like, so Ole Miss is just put in a untenable situation because Lane Kiffin was put in an untenable situation. Like, I don't know why everybody's mad at the coaches. The anger, the angst should be directed at the governing body that allowed the situation to get to this level. This like, it's an NCAA problem. Like, when you were implementing these new college football playoff, they had a chance. Let's just rewind for a second. They had a chance to right all of their wrongs. Because when they presented this college football playoff, which is only in its second year, it was an opportunity to redo the entire calendar as it pertains to athletics at the college level. You could have created a calendar that worked, something that smoothly transitioned for all programs, whether it was a head coaching change, whether it was a transfer portal, whether it was signing day. And they absolutely bundled the whole thing. And so Ole Miss is now in year 2 a focal point of how ridiculous the schedule is.
But Shaun, you can't change the schedule when you're adding teams to a playoff. It's just not possible. When are you going to start the season in fucking July?
Did you see the Joey McGuire interview?
Yeah.
I thought he made some very pertinent points that people in that room, when they were coming up with the college football playoff, should have thought out. He said the entire college football should start August 23rd. There should not be a week 0. He said the championship games for the conferences should be played Thanksgiving weekend. He said that way round 1 would be the weekend after Thanksgiving. That way the national title game could be played on or around January 1st.
New Year's, yeah.
Right. Then the transfer portal can open January 3rd, and then signing day can be February 1st. And now it all works.
We've been saying that for 3 years on this show.
Right.
That we've been saying that for 3 years on this show. Matt and I have been saying the same thing. I don't understand, but they won't do that. It has to do with financial. It has to do with TV contracts and them ability to kind of stay away from NFL and stay ahead of the curve. They want to go into the NFL season for some fucking unknown reason. I don't get it.
Here's the ludicrousy about that. They play all the rivalry games on Thanksgiving weekend. So it's not like there is no college slate. Bump the rivalry games up a weekend, then play the title games on Thanksgiving weekend, because it's only going to be the same amount of games as we would get on a Friday, Saturday anyway, probably less.
But Shaun, you can't have a bye week in between the 1 seed having a bye in this playoff thing. There's just not a way. It's not possible. You can't continue to string this thing out. Now you're going to add 16 teams.
I'm with you there. And we said all this to say what? To answer your question, no, Ole Miss should not be penalized because the NCAA can't come up with a calendar that makes common sense.
Well, here's the issue.
People shouldn't be mad at Lane Kiffin because the NCAA can't come up with a calendar that makes sense.
Here's the problem. CAA has been knees deep in this whole thing, defending Lane, pushing LSU to take Lane, defend Lane, play victim for Lane. I don't want the victim shit by Lane Kiffin needs to stop too, though. Nobody feels sorry for your ass making $10, $12, $13 million a year. Nobody feels sorry for you. You told the team that you got to the playoffs that you do not want to fucking coach them, period. I don't know a player in America that would want to play for a coach that told them that. I came this far, Shaun.
Watch how many go to LSU.
I know. That's what I'm saying because of this, though.
Right.
So, but what I'm saying is, hey, guess what? Shame on me if you fuck me once. Shame on you if you fuck me twice, dog. At the same time, it's a you problem now, kids. That's a you problem, kids. If you get fucked again, then guess what? That's a you problem. Here's the problem I have, though, Shaun. I got to rewind and go back 2 years when I had Kirk Herbstreit on here, and he was taking all that heat for basically saying Florida State does not belong in the college football playoff when their quarterback got hurt. Now, this is a double-edged sword discussion here, but I just want to be macro with it and have this discussion because it does have some validity, because the rules state if a player or a coach, show it, Bailey, if a player or a coach is removed, Shaun, the NCAA, the committee, no, not that, the committee, the NCAA rules, if the committee decides, Shaun, that you lost your coach, we can drop you or not even have you in. And they did it 2 years ago. We saw an undefeated team at Florida State do it. So, Shaun, there has to be there has to be some sort of consistency, no?
I just think Ole Miss is still capable of winning minus Lane Kiffin, so to not give them that chance because Lane
There
Kiffin,
they are, Shaun. If you want to at least look at them.
For those that aren't watching, that are listening, the sheet says the committee will select the teams using a process that distinguishes among otherwise comparable teams by considering 1, strength of schedule, 2, head-to-head competition, 3, comparative outcomes of common opponents without incenting margin of victory, and 4, other relevant factors. This is where the point JB's making comes into play. Other relevant factors such as unavailability of key players and coaches that may have affected a team's performance during the season or likely will affect its postseason performance. My only pushback would be JT Barrett, I think, from Ohio State gets hurt.
Are you comparing this with the Florida State hold?
Yeah.
All right.
But they had Cardale Jones, who nobody had ever heard of, that came in and played so well that he ended up getting overdrafted in the National Football League draft based on that small sample size of performances. So I'm just saying, you still got to go play the games.
Here's the problem, though. They lost their quarterback, so I get it. I'm going to give the edge to taking Florida.
This was Oregon at their height. This was Mariota. This was that kid won the Heisman. This was Oregon at their height.
I'm just saying, for the Florida State thing, just 2 years ago, when they said you're not going in at undefeated, we're not letting you in because you lost your quarterback, is a player. So I understand. I'm going to give a little bit of leeway towards Ole Miss for that reason, because Jimmy's and Joe's at the end of the day, Shaun, not X's and O's, right?
All right.
But then Lane Kiffin is him and Charlie Weiss Jr. are basically the two play callers, and they're kind of co-run this thing. Weiss has been with them forever. He's he's like a mentor to Weiss Jr. And he's also gone. And their strength coach is also gone. So depending on how long you have to wait before round 1 of this playoff game, you've lost your strength coach, you've lost your OC and your head coach. To me, that holds some sort of weight, and it's relative to this decision that happened at Florida State 2 years ago just by losing their quarterback. Because we saw them get shellacked in a meaningless bowl game by Georgia that they did not want to be in. And I don't want to see that again, because this makes football just so bad. It makes it so bad. Football is so watered down. If they go out there, Shaun, and they can't get lined up and they can't get a fucking play call done because their OC and head coach is gone and they look like an absolute cluster, it's a bad look.
So JB, let's get into the nuts and bolts of this. This is the one part of that whole immediate transition that occurred. There were some reports that Lane told the offensive staff, you're on the plane or you're not coming at all. He did.
True? I saw actual text.
Was that because it was mandated by Ole Miss?
No. Or
that was Lane being pissed off at Ole Miss for something?
Here's what happened. Lane went in all night the night before, talked to him, and couldn't come up to anything. So they said, all right, look, we'll table this till tomorrow morning. He went back in, met him again. They told him, no, you're not coaching. He said, I want to coach this team. He said, you're not. He said, literally, apparently is what I was told, and saw some text. He literally is in front of the chancellor and the AD, and he's texting his offensive group chat. Be on the plane by 4 or you will not have a job again with me. and you probably won't have a job here either when they hire a new coach. He's literally talking it out while he's texting it in front of the chancellor, like super class A narcissist talking shit right in front of the chancellor. And then he tells him, I'm going to take Chambly or whatever with me as well. So, like, he just walked out that way. And then Carter,
the quarterback, Chambliss left too?
No. He told them that day, I'm taking him too. So they immediately named Golding the head coach, who's the recruiter on that staff, by the way, and kind of the nuts and bolts. He's kind of like the Freeman when he took over. They loved him, and the team wants to be with him, is everything I know. And we had a guy on yesterday that's best friends with Golding and knows a lot going on there.
And Golding's the old coordinator from Bama?
Yeah,
okay.
been all over. So he came in and said, listen, I'll give you guys double the salary. The AD walked into the offensive staff and said, I'll fucking double every one of your salaries. Like some bullshit. I applauded him. I applauded the AD.
No, hold on. The preseason number or the rest of the year number?
No, for next year going forward.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to double your current salary. Every offensive staff member. I gotta applaud the AD Carter when you go in and do that, because if this guy who built this team and program and got you into a playoff run wants to sabotage your program now after giving you a shot after the FAU, after the Bama and Saban firing, after being fired at SC on the tarmac, after leaving the Raiders and Al Davis talking shit, calling you a liar, after you leave Tennessee after 1 year, if this is the team that gave you a shot to rectify yourself and clear your name, and then you want to re-sabotage them as you've done before, to me, is quite shady. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm not blaming Lane, though, for the calendar, to your point. Like, I really don't care. I'm not going to blame the coach and victim the coach and say, oh, it's the coach's fault because of the schedule. I'm not going to say that because players leave every day, and then the Twitter folks say, oh, it's a systematic problem. But when the coach does it, he's a shitbird. He's a fucking demon, blah, blah, blah. It's
so
all
I don't know.
fucked up.
I don't know if I'm going to change your mind, but I'm about to make you pause for a second. So the AD, and let's come to an agreement. If the staff stayed in place, Ole Miss, not the favorite to win the college football playoff, but they're not going to be a major underdog to anybody. They have a shot with this year's team to potentially win a national championship. So the AD, who understands the environment of college football, Ole Miss is a really good football program, but it's not at the pinnacle. It's not the Mount Rushmore. So he understands that whoever his coach is, there are some programs that could potentially convince him to leave. He got in his feelings and said, screw the potential college football championship. If you're not going to be here after this year, you got to go right now. Because there's an argument that the AD was the one that got in his feelings. Lane is saying, I want to finish this race. And the AD saying, no. So you could counter-argue that it's the AD that's in the wrong in this situation.
But I can if he gave me the opportunity to do what he did, and you slow played him this whole time when I've been asked. Shaun, that's like me and you. Let me go back at you. This is me and you talking as friends, and I'm saying, hey, dog, I need to know what's going on. Can you co-host the show today or not? And you lead me on and continue to say, I don't know. You know, I don't know if I can or not. I'm supposed to go on Whitlock. Just for, like, relevance. And I'm sitting there like, well, fuck. You know, you've been on this show for fucking 3 years, and, you know, I asked you first, and you got some guys here, you know, obviously. Everybody on this side, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you still continue to hold off. And I'm like, well, it's 20. I need to know that this morning the show starts in 30 minutes. That is the same thing.
But I say, hey, listen, JB, we got a contract through the end of the year. Whatever I'm going to do next year, I'm going to finish out this contract. Because here's where I think Lane got caught in the middle of something bigger than Lane. He couldn't act because Sexton, shout out to Jimmy Sexton for putting himself in a position to have as much power as he does, was still puppet mastering and orchestrating the entire thing.
But he's pitting all his guys against each other for more money for him.
but also more money for them. And they were working through some stuff. Like, for those that don't know, Lane Kiffin turned Florida down because Florida as a university decided that they were going to hire a GM to oversee the football program that was independent of someone that whoever the head coach was going to be could select. So Lane had an issue with that. Lane said, I'm not coming.
That was still it was his dream school, Florida.
Right.
So,
Lane was going to Florida. For those that don't know, he was going to be the next head coach at the Florida Gators. I know this is going to upset a whole lot of Florida Gator fans, but let me say John Summerall is a hell of a coach. The reason Lane did not go to Florida was because of the situation Florida wants in place, which is an independently hired GM who they've already selected, who Lane thought at some point could have veto power over him. And Lane was not.
And to piggyback on that, Jimmy called and said, listen, fine, we'll go with your GM theory, but we're hiring him.
Right.
And that's when the fight became, and they said, no, we're hiring a GM. And Lane said, no, every other coach in America with the full autonomy has hired their GM. Belichick with our guy.
Lombardi.
SC with Lincoln took Notre Dame's guy. Ron Rivera to Cal. Andrew Luck to Stanford. Every single person wanted those guys. And Lane said, you're not going to allow me to have my guy? So that's where the Florida thing broke. Boom. For a fact. I know that for a fact. That broke, and then LSU became enemy number 2. So I'm just saying, the problem is, though, Shaun, he held them by the balls, and they were held hostage at Ole Miss.
That's
and
not fair, JP.
Nah, here's why, though. It's just a fact, though.
Okay.
For him to say, all right, fuck it, I'm going to stay here, fire me then. Because Carter would have fired him, I believe, if he didn't have to pay him $37 million. So if you know you're owed $37 million, Shaun, you know damn well you're Big Dick Willie walking in there and be like, fire me, motherfucker. Like, I want to coach my guys. So they were in a catch-22 at Ole Miss, knowing they had a staff and players ready to go to the playoff, but yet we can't fire you for keeping us in limbo, which has held up the future hire, Shaun. Do you really believe, and now listen, I like Golding, and he's a good dude and recruiter. Do you really believe that's hire number 1 if Lane gives them notice and does it the right way and says, I want to leave and I'm going to leave and blah, blah, blah? If he would have did this a month ago or weeks ago when he knew he was leaving, Shaun, let's be honest, I got a text message from a player. So if that's true, do you really think Golding was target 1?
But I think you're making my point for me, though. Lane might have known that, okay, I'm going to take one of these jobs, but at the time, Lane probably thought he was going to Florida a month ago. And you got to negotiations take time. There are things you got to iron out. You got to work through. Like,
I get it.
But if you're the AD at Ole Miss, you still got a lame duck staff now. When you could have had Lane and the entire staff coaching the team in the college football playoff.
But the other team wasn't allowing Lane to do double dip. That's the problem. Florida and LSU wasn't allowing him to recruit for early signing period, which is tomorrow, and prep another team for a playoff. This ain't 2002 with Urban Meyer in Utah.
But they still didn't get any recruiting done, even though now that Lane made this. Listen, this recruiting cycle is a no-go for Florida and LSU. Though Summerall and Kiffin basically going to have to just keep the committed recruits that they have, and then they'll try and figure it out. They'll probably try and get a whole lot of guys to not sign on December 3rd so that they can bring them in on visits and then sign in the second window on February 1st.
Shaun.
It's a loss.
Let's be honest,
the
dog.
AD overreacted. He got in his feelings. The AD got emotional.
I don't believe – I would have fired him. I would have fired Lane.
If you're in the chat, who is wrong at Ole Miss? Is it the AD – for getting in his feelings, or is it Lane Kiffin?
Let me ask you something, though. There's no way Shaun King, I know, is going to sit here and tell me that the Tulane president and AD is going to let my sitting coach recruit for South Florida. No fucking way. This is not only is it a team in my conference, it's a SEC team. You're going to let go recruit a team that we play every year, Shaun. Ole Miss LSU are pretty much like a third highest ranked rivalry in their own respective decision making. If you want to break it down, Ole Miss LSU is a pretty heated rivalry in the own division, and they play every year. This isn't a team that crosses over like Bama, Georgia. They play every year. Hell no, I'm not letting you go over there to LSU and then coach my team. Hell no.
Let me say it to you like this. My dad used to always say, you learn from the past. You have to stay locked into where you are in the present with a small eye to the future, right? Ole Miss ain't no national championship contender year in and year out.
They
finally have a product that's capable of bringing a national championship to Oxford, Mississippi. That is going to outlive the AD, Lane Kiffin, any player that's currently on the team. To sabotage that because you're upset with Lane's timing, to me, is ludicrous.
Here's the problem, Shaun. You and I both been in this hierarchy of position and power and hiring and firing. There's no way I got a guy that I was loyal to who I hired, and then I find out he tells me, well, I don't know after the season, JB, if I'm going to be here. I'm going to help you out. You're fired right now. Because I had to do it on Netflix with quarterback coaches and other people that thought, oh, I'm too hard on them. I don't know if I'm coming back, JB. They tell me the week of our bowl game, well, I'm going to fire you right now. I'm not going to let you coach my bowl game around my players, and you don't know if you're coming back. I got recruiting things going on. I got fucking visits. I got quarterbacks for next year's class on the hoof. Like, hell no. So you know damn well that if I'm loyal to you, but you're not loyal to me, I got to let you go. And the bottom line is, the problem is with this is that you've allowed him to basically infiltrate you in a way because you're the guy, Shaun, that has to live in that town. Oxford, a town that's 10-minute drive wide. And I got to see those people every day in the community when I allowed this guy to infiltrate my program, knowing that the rival LSU, he was double dipping in. He had to go, dog. Like, there's just no way about it in football. You know football. Like, I refuse to shake hands of other coaches who I know dirty Mac me or try to steal my players when we played each other. You know this thing is, like, I don't got no beef with you, dog, but guess what? I ain't going to shake your hand either. I want you to know that I know. So I find it a hard – it goes both ways. But going back to the playoff thing, Shaun, I think we both make a good point. Going back to the playoff thing, if you're going to pull the quarterback and he's no-go and we pull out undefeated team, at least needs to be considered if it's on the literature. Because the NCAA, you made this rule. The committee made this rule, player or coach. Well, you got several coaches gone now. Well, the OC at least left, and the strength conditioning guy, which is probably bigger to you and I than it is to the committee because they have no idea in this long off stretch between the playoff and the now. Strength conditioning is pretty big for maintenance and shit. He's gone. So now you got the secondary guy who's probably there, and you probably have – who are you elevating to OC? The head coach is a defensive guy. So who's your OC? And then I heard Coach Smith just left too, or I'm hearing he's leaving. That's the other competent offensive guy. But then Carter doubled their salary, or at least offered it. But I know for a fact, I told Siski and AJ, I know Weiss was leaving with Lane. There's no way.
You got to.
So it's a shithole. It's a shit show, man. And I don't know if the committee. We'll see tonight, Shaun. The shit comes out tonight, the first ranking. But next Tuesday's ranking is going to be the more important one, obviously. But it's going to be interesting where Ole Miss is. Siski believes they won't move at all because of the contrite they have for the players after this debacle. And they think they'll keep them right where they are and they'll still host the game.
You know why I was clapping? That might have been the best dialogue on the Coach JB show in a long time because you had a strong opinion. I counter-argued with something that maybe you and the chat hadn't thought about. We engaged the chat. The chat hates Lane Kiffin 100% universally. So guess what? I'm going to say you're right. And the counter-argument I made, even though it's factual and legitimate, the emotion leans towards it's Lane. Shout out to the chat for everybody that engaged. Hit that like button. I did not know Lane Kiffin was that disliked. Well, people don't like Lane Kiffin for some reason.
But here's the thing, Shaun. You and I know how this is. I'm hated. I would argue I'm as hated or more hated than Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin just happens to be at major Power 4 program, and every fan base he is engaged with hates him now because he leaves. So I don't really judge you off being hated because I know the man. Obviously, we have some differences now, and I know his son. And I listen. The whole problem is we're gonna be hated, and that just is what it is. You cannot please everybody, and you know that. So I'm not gonna really trip that he's hated. I'm just gonna trip that. Okay, let me put it this way, Shaun. Before we take a break,
is disliked better than hated?
I was asked a question like, JB, would you have left your guys in this scenario to go to another play? And my answer is easily no. If I built that place to where it is, now it's obviously totally different, right? Because we're playing on this, and even though we're not on the same playing field in JUCO, because there's other programs that have way more resources like Iowa Western and East Mississippi and Butler and Hutch and Garden City. We're the shithole. I had to build a weight room. I had to do all that. But at least I know I can go get players without money affecting it, right? I'm not leaving because to me it's an even playing field, and I'd rather be at the shithole because I know the grind is realer. I can do it that way, and I wasn't going to leave if I'm sitting there with one loss, headed to the playoffs, and I'm just going to leave my players and say, fuck you.
Well, let's be clear. Lane tried to
do it.
Lane didn't leave. Lane was told to get out. That's a big difference.
Yeah, but it wasn't told. He wasn't told. If he did it the way Summerall did it,
right,
or the way Kalani may be doing it.
For context, for those that don't know, Coach Summerall publicly said he's not going to try and take any of Tulane's recruits. He wants them to commit to Tulane, just like they were going to before. He's going to coach through the title game on Friday. I'm going down to the game. I don't know the operating procedure after said title game. If Tulane wins, they will be in the college football playoff. That's probably a little more gray. I would assume Tulane would allow Summerall to do both, to start his head coaching responsibilities at Florida, but still coach Tulane to a potential college football playoff. I know they're interviewing new candidates. Blake Baker, the DC at LSU, who Lane Kiffin wants to keep, is, I think, a viable and leading candidate to be the next head coach at Tulane. I just talked to him. He wants the job, so hopefully he gets it. He's an alum. You know, he played right after I left. So I think the transition there is being handled much better, but I also don't think there's the same level of angst and animosity behind the scenes that exists at Ole Miss. And how much of this, JB, is Lane lost Quinshawn Judkins in a bidding war at Ohio State? You know, how much of this is Lane still looking in the rearview like when y'all had a chance to step up? I mean, y'all know y'all telling me we're going to have money available, but when we had to put, you know, ass to pavement last time, we didn't want to match what Ohio State was giving Quinshawn. Like, there might be some things that you don't necessarily trust that what's being said is 100% going to be true.
I don't know if you heard Siski's interview yesterday. Obviously, he's very tight end. He was at Ole Miss, was at Bama. He basically said Lane knew he was leaving last offseason. Last season's team, like he said, and I think you agree, and you said it, I believe, was double, triple as talented as this team.
Jackson Dart and crew were good. Trey Harris, they were loaded.
You said it, and he said it yesterday on the show, and he's like, if I couldn't do what I did with that team, and then I'm sitting here now with one loss, and we're still even skeptical if we're hosting a game or not, and we're not even in the damn title game against Georgia for a rematch, then there's nothing else I could do. He thinks he made that decision last year, and to your point, it could have been because of the Judkins loss or someone else that he lost this year. Because this year he couldn't, I guess, equal or get the talent back that he lost. But I can argue Texas didn't replace that old line, that secondary, or wideouts either this year, and that's Sark. So it's hard to just spend $35 million a year, man, and I don't know if it's easy anywhere. But
I agree. I think the only team right now that's spending a bunch of money, because Kirby Smart's got the best program in America, because Georgia's not heavily involved in the portal like some of these other teams. To me, the only team that's heavily involved in the portal that I think has managed it the right way is Ohio State. Like all these other teams that go out and spend all this money in the portal, Texas Tech too, I got to give them credit. What they did in one offseason is pretty impressive, but they're playing in the Big 12, so I can't really gauge like how good of a team they really are, because they don't really got any credible win on the schedule unless you think BYU is big time. Speaking of BYU and your boy Sataki,
Yeah, we're going to bring that up right after this commercial break.
How much money does the Mormon church really have?
A lot.
We about to find out.
They have a lot. The problem is, Shaun, I think this cookie company is their biggest contributor. I know
Asian dude that brought the basketball player. I think he's a big long. Here's what's be interesting for Sataki. Understanding he's Polynesian, correct?
He's Tongan, yeah.
I don't know if there's a better job if you're actually a person that believes if you're a Mormon. How is there a better job in BYU? The caliber of kid that you get
here
is top shelf. You don't got a lot of headaches at BYU. You're going to have other places.
Here's the problem. So Braden Fajoko's dad and Kalani, they're all related. They're Tongan. I've known Kalani since I was a little kid. Great friend of mine. Like, been drugged through the mud together, to say the least. He goes to Penn State, regardless if he's fired in 3 or 4 years. Generationally, he's set for life. And and they know it. And he knows it. And he knows that he's at a place where there's probably not much more growth. He can't do much more at BYU, dog. Like, look what he's done there. He single-handedly built this place.
You know what he can do? He can use Penn State to get that payroll.
He can, but I don't believe a church school, Shaun, isn't going to break the bank for $35 million for kids that you don't know if I pay and they go do something that their quarterback did and fuck on somebody in the dorm and I got to lose them. They're not willing to risk their integrity. That's what I was told last night. So if he leaves because he wants to play at the ultimate with the big boys and get in there and play Lane and those guys and possibly, I don't know if he can play it. Even if he gets to the playoffs, Shaun, be honest.
I don't even think, though, that kid is in play at BYU because you got to sign that contract. Ain't a whole lot of kids signing a contract to say, I can't have sex or drink alcohol.
I don't believe BYU is going to pay him $10, $12 million a year. I don't, even though he's a flat alum.
It's 8.5 a year at BYU where there's just less stress. Like, you're dealing with an older group.
That's not necessarily true, though. Like, knowing them, the stress isn't necessarily true, though, because I can't get. So let me ask you something. Would you coach a place knowing going in that this is our ceiling and I cannot surpass this ceiling? I can't get Judkins here. I can't get fucking Jackson Dart here.
But the ceiling is we can win the Big 12 every year.
Yeah, but is that what your ceiling is as a professional at the end of the day? I don't want to win a natty.
Absolutely, I want to win a natty, but at the same time.
But he ain't getting it there, though. But he knows it.
The place I'm going to just fired their sitting head coach mid-season after he made the college football playoff semifinals.
But hold on, though. You can't tell him to stay and Lane to leave.
No, I didn't tell Lane to leave. I said that AD was.
But you know what I'm saying? There's no different. Lane, you're in a playoff in the SEC at least, and you're leaving.
I'm just making a point. You're at a place where if you can get your comp, JB, let's say you're Sataki, I'm your OC quarterback coach, and me and you are talking right now, and you like, hey, look, this what's on the table. We can go to Penn State. This is the deal. You making 1.7 right now. I can pay you $3 million there. If we stay, I'm gonna be able to pay you $2.2 million. And I'm gonna jump up $3 million per year. I mean, I'm gonna be like, well, damn, living in Provo is kind of dope, dog. We ain't really
but listen, if Lane couldn't win at Ole Miss and left,
we can go to Penn State, dog. If we don't beat Ohio State and we don't win a Big Ten the first 2 years, we're gonna be on the hot seat.
Yeah, but if Lane's leaving Penn State for the same reason, you can't tell this guy to stay and not want to compete and go move on either, though. That's the thing about it. Like, he's got to have if he wants to really coach at the high level, then you got to go too. And I'm hearing Brian Hartline's going to be the new OC at Oregon. I heard. Here's what I've heard real quick before we got to take a break before Steve Kim jumps in. CAA and Jimmy Sexton, from what I was told in confidence last night, is literally and figuratively trying to singularly fuck Penn State for firing James Franklin, Jimmy's other agent or client. So he is telling every one of his CAA clients, don't even fucking interview. Fuck Penn State. It's a dead end.
Is he wrong? They fired this guy after being in the college football semifinal.
Well, I'm just saying, from what I've heard, it seems to be working. And CAA has steered clear of Penn State, and it's cost Penn State several candidates because why is Penn State such a stepchild on fucking December 2nd? Why have they yet to hire a guy, but Oregon State has? Fucking, like, what? UCLA's made a decision, apparently. Like, I'm just
maybe this is a reality check for Penn State.
And maybe it is. And maybe, you know, Brian, or what's his name, that replaced Paterno? Bill O'Brien and James Franklin have told everyone there's a ceiling here as well. After the Paterno debacle and the shower fucking soap gate, this could be a hard sell too. Like, it could be very hard to get, over the hump there. You can win 11. That's why James Franklin, what he did is so undervalued and appreciated, in my opinion. And what he's going to do at Vodtech is going to surprise a lot of people, I think, in that conference. Here's the other thing, Shaun. To Kalani's point, to some in the chat, he don't know shit about the Northwest or the Northeast. It's an Amish territory. He's Polynesian. Listen, this is an NIL, dog. You got money. You don't need to be geographically associated with a certain group anymore. I can go from James Madison to UCLA now, and UCLA gives him a bag. Guess what? I mean, look at what Indiana did. He brought his whole fucking team to Indiana. It ain't about who you know anymore. And guess what? Polys are the most loyal culture on planet Earth. I took 30 of them to Kansas. They never been to Kansas. Guess what? He'll take them to Pennsylvania. I promise you they'll follow. Shaun, let's take a break. Steve Kim joins us right after this. Pound that like button, man. We'll be back in 3.
There's a video going around of Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy, who had to move his press conference to a Zoom after getting headbutted by his cow.
To a zoo? To a zoo?
To a Zoom.
Well,
check this out,
a
homie.
little run-in with my cattle over the weekend, and I guess they've been watching us play and got headbutted. So I've got a bad eye that I didn't think would be particularly enjoyable for people when they were looking at my pretty face in a live interview. But more importantly, it's full of blood and I get dizzy, and so it's not easy to be upright and be in a normal function. But other than that, I'm doing great.
Other than that, I'm doing great. I'm gonna start with JB first, and then T Rich. I want you to get a little chance to kind of, get your thoughts all together. I see you're calculating right now. JB, what's going on with Mike Gundy? It seems like it's always just something with him, his program, it's something weird. He got headbutted by his cow. Moo. What's your take on that? What's going on, JB?
I think he got his ass whooped at a bar. I don't believe anything he says. He's an absolute fucking idiot. I kicked him out of my office several times for a reason. He's a fucking shitbird. And his son is shitty. I don't know why he gave him a scholarship. I saw him play in Oklahoma. I didn't even offer him to JUCO. And then he brought him to Oklahoma State, and he actually started some games. He's now at some fucking FCS school. The guy's a joke. I'm going to be honest. I'm 40. No, you are. You're fucking 60 now, and you're still shitty. And I think he got his ass whipped at a bar. I'm going to be honest. Show your face, because we'll know if a fucking horse hits you. Where'd the horse hit you? With his fucking hit him in his eye? I want to see your eye, motherfucker. I don't believe you got hit by no horse. Because Rich, it'd be hard to hit me with a horse in my eye. I want to see, where did the horse hit him? What kind of horse? And if it was a cow, what kind of cow hit him? Did a cow kick him? T-Rich, did the cow absolutely get his foot up to a 6-foot body and hit that motherfucker right in the eye?
Right, because it's not a donkey. A donkey might do that, or a horse. He said a cow.
You might be talking to your players and get them to believe that bullshit, like you got them to recruit and get there to Stillwater, because you're shitty. So you must have sold them a fucking hell of a car to get them to come to Stillwater. But you ain't selling me that a fucking horse and a cow hit your ass. I want to see your face. I think you got your ass whooped at a bar.
Well, who is the cow? Who is the cow? Me personally, and not calling nobody out, I think he might got Ike.
What?
I think he might got Ike.
Dun, 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 dun.
You remember that? You remember when Tina?
Tina
And it's not, and it, you know, hey y'all, I'm just spectating and looking at, you know, I ain't, you know, I don't want guys to be, oh, he, you know, beating his. No, I don't want to say that because obviously he getting beat up, right?
Have we
but
seen
I
his
don't want
face?
y'all-
Then? Have we seen his face? Anyone got a picture of him out there?
There you go, right there. That's all we gonna get. I mean, we seen Nick Saban, you know, get beat up in the game, and he came out and said you should have seen the other guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He showed his face. He showed his face though, like a G.
Yeah, he told you right off the bat. Hey, they don't make him.
You
like
saw
that.
me on Netflix wear a pink jersey and run.
You did that, you know.
I got a penalty. I got a penalty, T-Rich. I said if I get a penalty, we wear pink. I got the penalty. Yeah, we're back in the building, man. Pound the like button. It is Talk That Talk Tuesday with the Korean Cosell himself, our main man, the co-host of Fearless with Whitlock, the 3 Knockdown Rule with Mario Lopez, our main man, knower of all things, Steve Kim joins the show. Steve.
Gentlemen, good morning. Morning.
Oiler Pride.
What are they?
You guys lost, though.
Man, I mean, let me tell you what happened. We played Woodbridge.
Woodbridge, Orange County, Irvine?
Yes, they have a very good young freshman quarterback. If this guy gets a little taller, I think he's going to play football at the next level. Very crafty,
White
arm talent. Well, he's from Woodbridge, like I said. So anyway,
the team white.
Mostly. They had a little team speed, but not a lot. But a little team speed. They had a few team speed guys. So anyway, we tie the game late. It's 24-23, and we're all excited on the sideline, and then we missed the PAT. And I had to ask a serious question. How does a school with so many Mexicans not have a good kicking game?
I know why, Steve.
Because we couldn't get a Zendejas family in the neighborhood? Oh, my God. Hold on.
Well,
I'm still proud of the young man.
Steve.
A valiant effort. Oiler pride forever.
Shaun, do you want to tell them, or should I? They
go
kick a round ball, Steve. They don't kick an oblong ball.
It doesn't matter. You could have done tryouts. Hey, how many of you guys want to play a real sport? Jose, Pepe, Julio, get over here. See what we can do.
Hey, Cisco won his CIF championship on a Hail Mary. Shout out to Cisco, Southgate High School. They won the CIF.
Amazing things happen when you kick the ball forward on kickoffs.
Hey, Kim Go-Koo sent the Asian delegation back 50 years last night.
Steve, it's a perfect segue, Shaun, because I have no idea what you did last night.
What happened?
You don't know what you did last night?
Oh, my nephew. My nephew had a bad. This is why he's on his fourth team, man. Man.
Steve, what's going on? This guy wasn't on Gung Ho. He's not one of the greatest Asian actors, I'll tell you that much.
No, he's no Yuri Watanabe. There's no doubt about that.
I think he was on the hook here. I think this guy is on the payroll.
Hey, by the way, can we give a national game ball to Christian Ellis? That's old-time football. That is, and I can't wait till he plays the Chiefs. Oh, I cannot wait. This right there. What is the problem here? What is the guy? If you're not in bounds, you're out of bounds. But if you're not out of bounds, you're still in bounds.
We got it.
You know the thing that doesn't get enough credit in that interaction last night, and this is why I got a lot of respect for Jackson Dart, because Patrick Mahomes would have jumped up whining, complaining. He would have been campaigning for a flag.
Baby,
Jackson Dart was like, "Hey, all right, good hit," and ran back to the huddle. I respect Dart. How he
Shaun,
handled it.
if the NFL finds Christian Ellis, which I think they might, they have a way of doing this. Here's what I do if I'm Vrabel. Team meeting, everyone comes up there. And I'd have this big envelope, a big-ass envelope. And I'd be like, all right, so the National Football League, those guys who are, yay, have fined our guy Christian Ellis. And I'd open up the envelope, and I'd get one of them. Remember those big game show checks? Whatever that amount is, I'd be like, Christian, we got this.
Hey, Steve, we got that. They would get him for gate, some sort of gate.
That's bounty gate.
Yeah, it's bounty gate.
I don't know. You call it bounty. I call it incentives. I call it an incentive.
I get it. Here's a clip. We got a video though of both him and Vrabel talking after the game. I want to get a grade. I want you guys to grade who had the better speech post game. Go ahead, Bailey.
During the play, I saw the scramble. Started chasing him down. He started tiptoeing on the sideline, and I thought he was just going to go out of bounds, but then I saw him tiptoeing. So I was like, stay in bounds. What am I supposed to do? And we play hard on defense. We try to bring life to this team. So that's all I was trying to do, is just do my job and hit anything in the whites.
Hey, has anyone noticed the hat, though? Did anyone notice the hat he was rocking? That is a hell of a job by Vrabel making sure that he wore that hat on that interview.
Yes.
All right, now let's listen to Vrabel here, Steve.
Being aggressive and attacking a couple of times. Does some of the way that Christian Ellis had some of those bigger hits at the beginning of the game, is that something that everybody feeds off of? Is that something that kind of gives you guys a lift?
I think I certainly did. I think our fans did. I think our team did. And again, that's, it's a weekly reminder to the quarterback, our quarterback. We show him every week. Like, I wouldn't get too cute over there by the sidelines. It happens every week, and so Christian's playing, through the whistle, and as long as the player's in bounds, he's going to try to hit him legally.
Hey, Caleb Williams, he got pushed out of bounds last week. And it was in bounds, and I'm glad they lifted the flag on that. This right here should not be no fine. This is football, period. This is football like this, and I'm glad Michael Irvin posted what he posted last night, Steve, and he said this is an everyday occurrence when we played. This is nothing new to all you fucking fairies out here who've never seen real football. That you got a little glimpse of it last night right there.
Christian Ellis. Now, I believe his father was Luther Ellis, right? Former first-round draft choice, had a good long career at the Detroit Lions, obviously a well-raised young man. Both Vrabel and Ellis are patriots, and they are patriotic. That is American football.
The underlying message, though, that I think is being sent out is quarterbacks stop getting cute with the rules.
Yep.
Stop using the protection we provide for you guys and take advantage of it through nuance. Now, you can see it. If you're going to get down, get down. If you're going to go out of bounds, go out of bounds. Otherwise, we're going to stop protecting you.
If I was a coach, I'd have a thing called, especially if I played the Chiefs, I'd call it red alert. And I don't mean the DJ. I'd be like, hey, guys, do not like any quarter. I'm going to give you one flag a half. Now, until I call it off, it's a game-winning drive. Now we got to be a little smarter. But I'd go Buddy Ryan. I'd say we are on red alert, which means that quarterback gets near the sidelines. We are not escorting him out. We're going to emphatically hit him.
Hey, here's the brilliance of what Vrabel did, because he has a young quarterback that's athletic, just like Jackson Dart. Is he said, I tell our quarterback the same thing. So he basically uses as a teaching apparatus for his quarterback, get out of bounds without taking any of the aggressiveness off his defensive players for when the quarterback doesn't. I think Vrabel is elevating himself to one of the top 3-4 coaches in football.
Oh, there's no doubt. I got to have Ben Johnson got to be top of the list for what he's doing with a horrible quarterback in Caleb Williams. Number 2, I have Vrabel right there. Vrabel is doing an unbelievable job with his second-year quarterback in Drake May, who's looks like he's the
Hey man,
class
stop
act.
calling that man outside his name.
What?
The mother and father
Quarterback.
Caleb.
The quarterback.
What?
They named him
Hey.
Caleb. They didn't name him Caleb.
You know, I think I told this story though. 80 divisional playoffs, Joe Montana against the Giants looked like he was going out of bounds, and he turned it upfield. And Harry Carson and Lawrence Taylor led up. And I remember this play because Montana got like 10 more yards. Lawrence Taylor said that when that play was over, he walked over to Joe. He goes, Joe, you do that again, I'll kill you. He said, Joe Montana, being a man of honor and integrity, apologized to him and said it'll never happen again. And it looked honor. We used to be a serious country.
Hey, listen, we might not know. Well, I think he still would have ended up being who he was on some levels, but his accomplishments might not be as significant if Drew Bledsoe had ran out of bounds. Drew Bledsoe got knocked out by the backer from the Jets. Same situation. If you go look at the replay, it's the same situation. And that's how Brady ended up getting in the game, and the rest is history.
Yep.
Hey, Shaun, do you think Mo Lewis's jersey should be retired by the Patriots? Like in their Ring of Honor, there should be Mo Lewis?
They should go out of their way to make sure that he's featured in the building. Like, it can be hitting Bledsoe, but like you can see him more than you can see Bledsoe.
I have a question for you guys. If you had to redo that draft, is Drake May the #1 pick?
No.
John's not as high on him as I am. He's still as high on Jaden Daniels. I like Jaden, but if he's not available.
Brittle. Jaden's brittle.
Yeah.
Drake May looks like he's already a top 5 quarterback, and I don't care about that schedule.
I think it would come down to who had the pick, because you can make a legitimate argument for 3 of those guys. Jaden Daniels, what start is this for Drake May?
It is
around 25, probably around 25.
No, Drake.
No. He didn't start. He didn't play all last year.
That's right. That's right.
It's like 16. I want to say it's 16 or something.
And here's what I always remind people: if you look at Jaden Daniels' first 16 starts, he was more impressive than Drake May has been so far. There would be an argument for Bo Nix. Like, I think it would come down to who had the first pick and what they were looking at from their quarterback.
It actually is. It's 25 starts
between Bo Nix and Drake May. Really?
Yes, depending on who had it.
I don't. I think 32 teams would say, "Give me the tall white guy with all the tangibles and intangibles."
I'm not
big and is.
But you're still talking about a organization that, if you know what you're looking at, you could never have Caleb Williams as your #1 quarterback. And the Bears took Caleb Williams. So I'm saying it would matter who had the pick. I'm not saying I would do it, Drake May or Jaden Daniels. It'd be one of those. But the Bears drafted Caleb Williams 1. And there's no way you can look at Jaden Daniels' college tape and Caleb Williams' college tape and come away thinking that Caleb was a better NFL prospect than Jaden. I don't think that's possible.
You were talking to 2 guys. We rated Jaden ahead of the other guy, whose name shall not be named.
My point being, if we went back and redrafted it, you might still get the ludicrousy of what happened.
That being said, I don't want to hear that the Patriots have beat up on a weak schedule. In the National Football League, the first step of being a decent team is to beat all the bad ones.
They're a really good team, Steve. The only question I have with the Patriots, once we really get into playing the elite defenses, are they athletic enough at wide receiver come playoff time?
That's the thing.
That's the one question I don't know.
Against the Texans scare me. Texans match up against them scares me for New England. Texans right now is the best defense in football. Texans.
Booty and Diggs at this point in his career, once they really play a defense that can cover and they're going to get after the court, I don't know. Can Travion Henderson body type hold up?
He's leading the league in rushing in the last 5 games. So
I know. But can he hold up at that size?
Steve, let's move on real quick. We got a lot of college to discuss. There's a boxing slate this weekend, correct?
Yes, we're going to be doing Fight and Football Palooza Championship Weekend. Very good Fight Fans fight card. Lamont Roach, who should be a WBA lightweight champion. I thought he beat Tank Davis, and he thought he was going to get the rematch. He's fighting Isak Pitbull Cruz. That's a solid fight at 140. Then you got Janibek, the world's best middleweight, in a unification bout against Erislandy Lara. And then there was another fight. Stephen Fulton goes for the WBC 130-pound title against Oshaki Foster. So we'll have that on the big screen, right? Right next to your poker table. And then the other championship games throughout the day will be on the screen. JB, how fast did this college football season go? Man,
I did not believe it was over.
A blur, man. Just a blur.
Hey, but now we got to speed it up faster if we don't want to have to another Lane Kiffin situation and bitch and moan about the coach leaving in the middle of the playoff run. So I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, Condoleezza Rice needs to get a shit or get off the pot. So let's get this college football anymore. Let's get this college football party going. UCLA, your Bruins. Hopefully, this man brings back the original Bruin. Is expected to hire James Madison head coach Bob Chesney, not Matt McChesney. Bob Chesney. He's set to sign a 5-year deal. I've also heard through the grapevine, if Kalani doesn't take the Penn State job, this man is in the mix of that job as well, which would probably deter UCLA from hiring him. I would assume he would take Penn State over UCLA. He's an East Coast guy. So I don't know what's going to happen. He hasn't put a pen to paper yet, but it looks like UCLA has their guy.
Okay, so they're trying to recreate the Google Me magic. I get it. And I don't know how many guys this guy would bring along with him to Westwood the way they did in Bloomington with Cignetti. Going back to Sataki, guys, I think in college football, fit, whether it's cultural, political, racial, everything, it's important. JB, you know Kalani Sataki. Do you think he really fits in Happy Valley, putting aside the money, which I know this is about the money. It's always about the money. Do you think he fits better in Happy Valley or Provo?
Well, this guy was a fullback for Sark at BYU under Lavelle Edwards, was roommates with Sark, so he bleeds BYU. And his first hire when he got the job was Ty Depner as his OC. So I get he's full through and through BYU. The problem is, he now understands, though, if Lane Kiffin left because his ceiling was here, I got to leave, too, if I want to aspire to play for a national title. He knows he cannot get, to Sean King's point, a Judkins or a Drake May or a Bo Nix. He's not going to get those guys at BYU. And then the church school that it is, to Eric Weddle's point last night on the phone, who Kalani coached Eric when he was there at Utah, the church school is not going to fork out $35 million for some unknowns to come there and fuck on something in the dorm and be fired and kicked out of school and lose their integrity. They're not going to pay $30 million for an integrity to be lost. You saw that by kicking out the quarterback that went over to Tulane's and now has got them in a playoff hunt. So, listen, I think Kalani says, hey, if I want to play with the big boys this time, I got to go. And listen, Paulie's travel, Steve. There's nothing now NIL money that won't say Polly's won't travel to Amish land and make a house in 2 days.
Now, I don't know what kind of budget they got, but to me, if Kalani was going to leave, he's a perfect fit for UCLA.
Oh, no doubt. He's from here. I mean, there's no doubt.
That he'd be perfect for there. And I don't know if he could. I don't know what UCLA's budget. I know their facilities are like mid-1980s from what I heard, at least.
They've upgraded.
They've upgraded.
I'm talking
they've
space.
Upgraded a little bit.
Space-wise, they've expanded a little bit, knocked down a parking lot. They've got 100-yard fields now at least.
Yeah, Shaun, they got rid of the shake weights. The Nautilus machines they moved those out a couple of years ago. A couple things here. Talking about the path to the playoffs. I would argue that there's no doubt about it. In the Big 12, Texas Tech has the biggest budget. So they're going to be number one. But I think BYU is still a top 3-4 job in the Big 12. Penn State is probably top 5 in the Big 10, right? But it's a tough league. It's a tougher league. And UCLA is probably about what? Right now, the 15th best job. So when you're talking about path to playoff, BYU may still be an easier one. Now, the problem is, can you get all the way to the top and win the title? I'm not sure about that. But it reminds me, when you talk about fit, it reminds me of the story of Joe Paterno. Joe Paterno was this close to being the coach of the New England, or what they call the Boston Patriots. I think it was New England at the time. And they're going to have a morning press conference to say, okay, this is our new coach. Sue Paterno and Joe, the night before, they're in bed, and Sue Paterno is just very emotional. She says, Joe, what are we doing? He goes, we like it here. They like us. I said, Joe, you are a college coach. Are you sure about this? Joe looked at her and says, no, I am not. He goes, I think you're right. Next morning, he called Mr. Sullivan. He said, Mr. Sullivan, I'd be doing both of us a disservice if I took this job. I'm staying at Happy Valley. And it worked out. Certain guys are meant for certain jobs. Now, when the money is that much, maybe it really doesn't matter anymore. But I will say this. If schools like BYU cannot keep alumnus or alumni like Kalani Sitake, man, there's no hope for anybody else. This thing has just gone full-blown mercenary on every single level.
I think quality of life got to matter. Peace of mind.
Yes.
Like, I'm not leaving BYU to go somewhere where they just fired the guy who was in the semifinals of college football playoff the previous year. I don't care, man, what the money look like. Like, we making enough money to be real comfortable in Provo. Penn State fired James Franklin. They were in the college football semifinal last year. And he didn't make it through the season. Like, maybe Penn State's expectations maybe they're delusional in Happy Valley.
I got to give Franklin credit. He has already upgraded the talent level at Va-Tech. He is recruiting his ass off. He's doing a hell of a job.
I was going to say that. No, nobody can argue James Franklin, one of the top 5 head coaches in football as a recruiter. So it's not like Sitake going to be able to recruit better than Franklin did. I mean, Sitake got some kid wearing mid-40s number playing quarterback. Franklin didn't win at Penn State because he was quarterback.
Hey, I think there's a forward thinking that's deeper than what we're discussing, though. Like, I've talked to these guys that are very in tune to a lot of people. We had Siski on yesterday, who was in tune with a lot that's going on here. There's a strong sentiment that the NCAA will be breaking part and breaking ways with the power conferences, and they will create a geographical landscape. So the Northeast will have a power region, the South, the Midwest, and the West. So they're going to combine these and get rid of the NCAA, and the NCAA will then become charge of only mid-majors and then maybe the G5 or whatever. So if that's the case, then some people may be thinking to get out now while they can before it's too late. And that may be the case here. That's all I'm saying.
Does that mean we might actually get a revival of what the Pac-10/12 was? Is that what you're telling me?
Probably, yeah. And the problem is, like, let me ask you this, though, both of you. Is this not an upgrade from BYU and the Big 12? Like, you gotta think Big 10 is more attractive as far as.
Well, look, if there's really a Pac-10, which includes UCLA, USC, Washington, Oregon, Stanford, Cal, BYU would fit. BYU and Utah. And speaking of Oregon State, I want to go back to this because we talk about fit, culture, and happiness and money. All of this ties in together, right? JB, what do you think Jonathan Smith is thinking right now? He left his alma mater because he felt like, you know what, I still want to be involved in big-time football. Oregon State does not have a place in this new world. But Michigan State just did not work. But I already walked away with $33 million. Does he walk away with regrets, or is he thinking to himself, $33 million, that was worth being in East Lansing for 2 years?
I think it was worth it because Oregon State and Washington State got left out of all of the movement.
This is the problem. To Shaun's point, if you both are here telling me Kalani just doesn't fit the Northeast, I can say the same about Jonathan Smith when he left California and Oregon State. I said I do not see the Michigan State fit. I do not see the Michigan State fit.
That is our point.
I didn't see that fit at all.
I don't think Michigan State's a good job.
I don't either.
I don't think that's a good job.
It's the Auburn. It's the Auburn of the Big Ten, and I tell you why. And JB and I were talking about this on Saturday, Shaun. Here's the problem with Auburn: they're a bit nutty, but beyond that, their direct in-state rival is the greatest brand of the past 15 years in Alabama, and one of their other main rivals has that black G on their red helmet. So already off the bat, you are walking into a gauntlet.
But I will say this. When I watch Auburn play in 2025, they look like the right coach away from being elite. When I watch Michigan State play, they look like they need an entirely new team.
Yes, no doubt. I do have some insight, though, from a current staffer who probably won't be retained at UCLA. Skipper will be the new head coach at Cal Slow Poly, and he's taking Neuheisel with him.
Oh.
Is that the Bears or is that a different? I'm not as in tune with the California system. Is that Cal?
Cal Poly Slow is San Luis Obispo, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Coach, what up if Chesney goes to James Madison to Penn State and not UCLA? Does UCLA's focus go to Sean Lewis? Is he on the radar?
I would think so. I know he interviewed. I would think so.
They struggled.
I think Sean Lewis is undervalued. I think he's doing a great job.
San Diego State got some bad losses.
They do.
They had a bad one late.
They had a shot to play in the championship. They had a shot.
Hey, by the way, fellas, have you been listening to our boy Big Matt?
No.
Oh,
I talked to him yesterday. I'm trying to hook him up with Moore. I connected him with Moore yesterday. Colorado State.
His new nickname is the Greyhound. You know why? Because he's throwing people under the bus at Colorado. It is glorious. It is glorious. Thank you, Bailey. You're part of that. It is glorious to hear the stuff that he's saying. He flat out said yesterday's show, Colorado doesn't even practice against their own opponents. They just practice against themselves. Like he was explaining how when they play a specific opponent during the season, they don't even game plan. I was like, no way. I mean, but Big Matt has sources. And Coach Sanders, not Coach Prime, Coach Sanders said, I will do everything in my power. This is going to be the last supper, y'all. Okay, so the last thing, you're going to really focus on rebuilding Colorado. So what's he going to do? Actually leave his house to recruit?
Hey, low key.
Don't say I didn't tell you guys 3 years ago. I'm over the whole shit.
The laziest King. You cannot defend that.
Hey, listen.
He doesn't even throw a block party. He just says come inside.
Colorado under Prime is a launching pad to get a head coaching job, dog. Sean Lewis, San Diego State, Marshall Falk, Southern. I mean,
where's Warren Sapp going? Soccer team?
Hey man, why you bring Sapp into this?
Oh, he's a kicker, isn't he?
There's no other program. There's no other program in America we could talk about, and you would target the defensive tackles coach.
Well, no, he's Warren fucking Sapp. Yeah, it's a little different.
It's a little different.
You're trying to be a bully, dog. Cut it out.
Nah, we attack Steve Kim's guy, Jason Taylor's sister.
But not Jason Taylor, who's doing a fine job, along with Damian Lewis. Damian Lewis, you did a hell of a job this year for Miami.
Miami ruined or potentially ruined the college football playoff by losing at SMU.
Well, that might be true, but
I'm going to say this as the most honest truth teller of anyone that talks Miami football to the degree. I think Miami this past weekend was good as any team that I saw at all three levels of football. I was like, wow. But at the same time, I kept thinking, how did that team lose to SMU?
Right.
And no matter what happens, whether Miami sneaks into the playoffs and makes a run like Ohio State last year after they lost to Michigan, Mario Cristobal can never forget SMU. That's the one game that he has to look back the whole offseason. He has to study it. He has to study his approach, the usage of timeouts. I am a Cristobal fan. I am. But I came away from Ford Stadium walking back to the parking lot. I was kind of in a daze. All of us Miami fans, we looked like the Michael Jackson Thriller zombies. And I was like, wow. It was literally the worst coached game at so many levels I've ever seen. And that's a game in the offseason. If I'm the athletic director or whoever that big donor is, I say, Mario, once a week, you got to review that game. You got to go back to that game. You could never allow that. Like Jimmy Johnson says to this day, 87 Fiesta Bowl on me. I blew it, but it made me a better coach because I never forgot it. I mean, JB, don't you have games that you lost that stick with you and you're just, once in a while, you just drive, you're like, oh, man, how did I do that? That's if you really care about this, you have to be obsessed with that game.
I have a 30-1 Miami to win the national title ticket in my pocket. But you cannot put Miami in and not put the conference champion in. And there's no way Duke or Virginia is getting – Duke's probably going to win, who has 4 losses overall. Like, there's no way –
5.
Right. There's no way you can put them in the college football playoffs.
So that's my question to you. If the literature in the NCAA, pull that literature up again, Bailey, if you can. If the literature and per their rules, why they kept Florida State out just 2 years ago, Steve, when I had Kirk Herbstreit on, and he was getting murdered in the fan base of Florida State and Seminole Nation. I got to ask you, if a coach or a player leaves, I'm curious as to what Shaun's discussing here. A 5-loss team.
Well, no, there are bylaws. The ACC may not get any teams in.
That's what I'm saying. So that would be my
But I will
take.
say this. I think that whole ESPN college football world that is represented by a certain agency,
CAA.
I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust them.
Good point. Let's keep going on here. Let's keep moving on here real quick. Kentucky hired Oregon offensive coordinator Will Stein after Stoops was fired and let go. Mark Stoops, interesting to see if he lands somewhere as probably a D coordinator on someone's staff, possibly LSU. Michigan State, we know, is hired longtime Northwestern head coach Pat Fitzgerald after the lawsuit came through. And that'll be introduced today. We've already discussed Kalani. I'm hearing the Oregon OC will be Brian Hartline. And so if that happens,
Coach, doesn't that suggest to you that if you're going from Ohio State to Oregon, 2 powerhouse programs, and Ohio State probably odds-on favorite to win the national title, doesn't that suggest to you he really is not the coordinator? That's really still Ryan Day in Columbus running that offense.
Oh yeah.
You know what I think? A couple things here. First of all, NCAA needs to come up with some kind of tampering rules, because before it was announced Mark Stoops was fired, it was announced Will Stein was the new coach at Kentucky. Like, there's no way they had enough time to interview anybody.
Well, what about Fitzgerald and Jonathan Smith?
But at least Fitzgerald wasn't working. Like Fitzgerald wasn't working this year, right?
No.
Right. So at least he wasn't working. What the hell is Will Stein?
But that's a shitty thing to my head coach. If you already know who you're hiring, at least let me know 2 weeks ago.
Well, you don't think Jonathan Smith had an inkling that he was out? There were rumors a couple weeks ago.
He had an inkling, but the way they did it.
And to your point about Hartline, maybe Hartline feels like he needs to leave Ryan Day to get credit for coordinating the offense so that he can become a head coach.
Well, he's not calling it. That's the problem. When you're a title OC, you got to go somewhere under a Lanning who's a defensive guy, and where everybody knows he's calling it. So that's why he's leaving Ohio State.
A great situation for Hartline, because I believe Dante Moore's coming back, Ricarian Moore's coming, returning.
They're only losing a tight end. They're just losing a tight end.
Sadiq, but I mean, you got young running backs, and Dan Lanning has that thing going really good. So that's a really good spot. So Hartline wants to spread his wings and really write his own resume as an offensive coordinator and as a launching pad to a head coaching job. It's a good move.
Can he convince Jeremiah Smith to come with him?
No. Why? Why would Jeremiah? I mean, Miami fans still have this dream that Jeremiah Smith is going to come to Miami. He's not. He's a Buckeye. Leave that alone.
And they got his younger brother committed already. Here's the issue. Here's the issue I see though. If Hartline did that, he would be committing a sort of coaching suicide as well, as a guy that's trying to get his name out in the head coaching world. You don't want to backbite a place like Ohio State and Day and take their best player either.
But he recruited all of those guys.
I know. Trust me. Like, Zach talks about him highly. The problem is you still don't want to take a guy from that place as a guy that wants to be a head coach. It will follow you. You know this. You don't want. Listen, I know for personal experience now. I'm just telling you.
I think Ohio State will satisfy all of the demands or requests from Jeremiah Smith for his third and final year as an Ohio State Buckeye. Just like Miami will make sure that Malachi Toney is a career Miami Hurricane. There are certain guys that are needed, and there are a few guys that are indispensable and wanted. There is a difference.
Steve, before we get to your list, Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach, is still talking. He's still talking. He's still talking his talk, and he had something to get off his chest, not only about Florida State, but about Florida. Take a listen.
Yeah, FSU, they've got some issues up there. They got a coach they can't get rid of because they don't have the money to let him go, and so that's where they're at. Fortunately, we had enough money to pay our guy off, I guess.
He took a shot at both motherfuckers.
Hey, big picture. This is one of the reasons why I'm not sure Florida is a great job. Not only are they hiring an independent GM, but you still got Spurrier and Urban, who was very involved in the decision of who was going to be the next coach, still kind of in the shadows, but around. Like, so their input matters in Gainesville. Like, I love Coach Summerall, but I don't know that that's going to be the easiest place to transition to.
There's already a group of Florida fans who are saying, geez, another G5 guy after Billy? So that he's working, but Summerall's pretty highly regarded. I've talked to a few people.
Great coach, great dude.
But I love Spurrier because there's no filter. I remember one time they were at South Carolina. He played this terrible game that they won. And for 10 minutes, he rips his team. Said, oh, my God, I got to tell you, we played the worst game. This is embarrassing. I think the coaches need to be shaken. And he sees a starting quarterback. So at the end of it, he goes, all right, Casey, you come over here. You take some of this. You were part of the problem. And he just, leaves. I remember Miami beats Spurrier in his last game ever at Florida. We didn't know it, but that ended up being second to last year. And so he gets up on the press conference dais. He goes, I gotta tell you, I'm looking at the stats here. 11 penalties, 11. Oh, God. That's on me, boys. That's coaching. That's on me. They whipped us, but God, that's on me. I gotta tell you now. I just try to call some old ball plays, but that's on me. Spurrier is an American treasure, even though he's a hated Gator. He said one time to Dennis Erickson when they were both rivals, he said, well, I mean, it must be nice, Dennis. You get to play San Diego State, and I'm stuck with Auburn. I'd be like, you asshole. But he's funny. I love
No doubt. It's going to be interesting, Steve. I'm just telling you. I think Florida hired Summerall out of desperation when Kiffin said no, and that whole thing stalled.
No, first of all, you're not going to disrespect the sitting head coach of Tulane.
He's a group of five guys. He's a G5 guy.
He's not a desperation hire. Summerall's a really good coach.
Okay, no,
we'll see. We'll see.
To JB's point, knowing that Kiffin preferred Florida, and I've also heard that from people like Chris Landry, who are pretty connected. I trust him. Knowing that Lane is a really turning into a really good coach, no matter what you say about all the ancillary issues. Knowing the position you're in right now as a program, would you acquiesce to every single one of Lane's demands at that point?
Yeah, we spoke on that earlier. I thought it was short-sighted by Florida to lose Lane because of an idea they had before they started the search that we're going to put an independently hired GM in control of the football program. Okay, I get it. In theory, you have a plan that you want to operate under. But if Lane says that's a no-go, to then lose out on Lane because you won't not have a GM, but allow him to hire the GM he wants, I think that's short-sighted. And that's not Scott Strickland. That's got to be coming from somebody that's powerful, that's above Scott Strickland.
Shaun,
here's the issue. Go ahead, Steve.
If you look at the last couple of Mississippi rosters, especially last year, where they had a lot of draft choices, high draft choices, right? You look at this team, 11-1. I would say that player acquisition has not been one of Lane Kiffin's problems. Why are you taking that power away from him? I don't get it.
I don't know, but I know this. The academic rigor was laxed for scholarship players to get into Tulane. It was not for Willie Fritz, the guy that actually built Tulane.
On the back end of Fritz's tenure there, it was.
Summerall wasn't going to do what Willie had to do. I'm just telling you right now.
I know both of them very well, and they're both really good coaches. It's something that Fritz battled extensively early.
I know his quarterback barely got him in.
Yeah, it's something that was relaxed Willie's last couple years at Tulane.
Well, hold on. That just means they're a serious football program. Not program. And I respect football programs. Now, before I get to my list, one last Steve Spurrier story from Brian Schottenheimer. I don't know if people know this. He was like a four-string quarterback at Florida in the early 90s. So Spurrier in his last year, late 90s, has everyone over, or whoever wanted to come to Spurrier House for Thanksgiving, they were invited. So they're all getting ready. They're all doing whatever, watching football games. So everyone's got a plate. And Schottenheimer said, so I know this game I'm not going to play because we're playing Florida State, and it's a big game. We're both in the top 5. So Coach Spurrier goes, "Hey, what are you drinking? What are y'all drinking?" And he comes over to Schottenheimer and goes, "Now, Brian, you're not playing, so you want a beer? Well, you want to have a couple beers with me now. Have a couple Coors Heavies, not Coors Light. Said he had like 4 beers with Spurrier, just watching games. Like he said, now you're not going to play, so don't worry about it. Y'all just keep having. What a great coach! What a great leader of men.
Can I ask a quick question? Maybe something that hasn't, I think, been broached yet. Is this not the greatest offseason for head coaching opportunities in the history of college football? Because listen to this: Penn State, Florida, LSU, Arkansas, Auburn, Michigan State, UCLA, and watch this. Get outside of those jobs. The 3 best G5 jobs out there are also now available: Tulane, USF, and Memphis.
Yeah, but those are shitholes.
No, but if you want to go somewhere where you can win immediately and it's proven it can catapult you to a high-paying Power 4 job, those are the best 3 landing spots.
I just miss football when it was D1 and it was D1 AA and it was D2. I just miss that shit. I'm so over the G4, G5, G6, G8. Fucking goddamn, that's an airplane to me. I'm tired of this whole G5
back in
4
my
shit.
day, you can take pictures from your cell phone now. You know what I'm saying? You can watch video. Like the world has changed, JB. The hell you talking about? Division 1, Division 2.
But has it changed?
Division 1 AA. Get out of here.
But has it changed for the better? No.
It doesn't matter if it's better or worse. It changed.
Vanderbilt now is a powerhouse. Florida is shitty. Make that make sense.
Well, why is that a bad thing?
I don't know if it's a bad thing. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing. I'm just backing up Shaun here that it has changed, and I don't know if it's for the better.
But you didn't answer my question. Is this not the greatest offseason of availability in college football history?
No, not for college football. For Jimmy Sexton. Now, for Jimmy Sexton,
CAA.
it's the greatest thing ever. Yes. For Jimmy Sexton, it's the greatest time of the year. There, I said it there.
And Vandy has a quarterback who's went to JUCO 2 years, got 2 more years, had COVID year, had another fucking year, but petitioned, sued the NCAA, got another year, about to sue again another year. This motherfucker's 36 years old, going to be his 3rd NFL contract at fucking Vanderbilt, and his mom is getting tricked off to Theo fucking Vaughn. So anyway, let's move on amicably. We got Steve Kim's top 3. 3 and out.
And by the way, no disrespect to the Mexican MILF. Miss Pavia, we want to apologize for those statements that were just made by Coach JB. All right, week 14, final regular season of the college football season.
Respectfully.
So let's take always and amicably. So let's see and highlight the good and the bad of what I witnessed from my Crouching Tiger slanted eyes. Number 1, guys, there's been a lot made about certain.
Hey, Steve, sorry to just interrupt you. I got to interrupt you. Is there any truth to your new nickname being called the Crouching Tiger Shitting Dragon?
To quote Depeche Mode, back on the screen. These were, to quote Depeche Mode, those were blasphemous rumors spread by Chess King. Chess King framed me like a piece of art, but the timing of it, the timestamps will show that I was innocent, that I was watching top-ranked fights from Mexico when the offending party left. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So the preponderance of evidence irrevocably and irrefutably exonerate my name. So anyway, getting back. Guys, there's a lot been said about certain true freshman quarterbacks. Guys, I think Michigan, do you have your receipt? Bryce Underwood, I don't know. I don't see a $10 million quarterback. Releases low. He throws everything too hard. I don't think it's a great system. They need some help outside. Bryce Underwood's been a little bit underwhelming. Malik Washington had some moments at Maryland. The freshman quarterback that I believe that has by far the highest ceiling and the most arm talent, the notorious JKS, Sagapulatelli at Cal. This guy throws absolute lasers, the ball placement, the crap that he shows. I wonder, will he be Cal's quarterback next year, following in the footsteps of one Fernando Mendoza? Number 2, got to give Texas credit. You know, it's bad enough that they lost a few games. They had to escape against Kentucky and Mississippi State. But the last month of the season, Arch, Sark, and the Longhorns hook them. They did a good job, and they beat A&M just as I predicted last week in Austin. And there's actually a playoff buzz surrounding them. I'm not sure about that. That Florida loss was still bad, but I like the way the Longhorns finished the year, and Sark settled that program. And number 3, Ryan Day didn't just get the monkey off his back. He got King Kong and Mighty Joe Young off of it, emphatically beating Michigan at the Big House, and now they are odds on to win the national title. But Jason, to your point, I believe Indiana's the first really good team they're actually going to face this year.
Quarterback scheme, offensive system is going to be the first one Ohio State's faced.
Right. So that, though, they're not out of the woods yet to be undefeated going into the playoff tournament. Now the bad. Auburn, as Mr. King noted, they have NFL talent. Kendall Falk, Atkins, Cam Coleman, Singleton. They do. I have never seen a team with such sloppy, careless ball handling and ball security and just dumb IQ football the way they played in the Iron Bowl. They played hard, but they played dumb. Whoever is that next coach is going to have some talent to work with. You got to get back to the fundamentals. That team was better in terms of physical talent than the record indicated. Hugh Freeze was a bad hire. I'm not so sure who replaces him. Lane Kiffin. Lane, I know a lot's been said, and I want to make this clear. Anyone that says that the criticism of Lane taking a new job is off base, you're not even putting this into context. It's not about a guy taking a new job. It's not. Everyone does it. It's everything else that surrounded it. And Jason, I'm going to quote Houdini. We've already did that last Saturday during the Patreon, but not that song. I'm going to quote Houdini once again when it comes to this whole thing. One love, one love. You're lucky just to have just one. One love, one love. Lane, you can only have just one. And you have to understand, adult decisions come with adult consequences. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. I actually don't have an issue or even care that you took a new job. But for you to say that, well, I want to coach my team till the very end, guys, Ole Miss has a responsibility to themselves as an institution and as a program to say, you turn the page, we'll close the book. I give everybody at Ole Miss credit for doing the hard, tough thing and saying, get the out of here. Also, to quote Houdini once again, reading the Lanestein files, wow. All I can say is the freak comes out at night. The freak comes out at night. The freak comes out at Lane.
Yeah.
Wow. Actually, whole newfound respect for you in that regard. Also, finally, the ACC, my beloved conference. Can we change the bylaws of your tiebreaker? I get it. We should have beat SMU. That's on us. But there's no way that it should be Virginia and Duke.
That's a joke.
ACC title game. It's
That's a
mockery.
joke.
It's a mockery.
It is.
So there
a
it
mockery.
is. 3 and out.
So
Steve,
a couple.
shout out.
Can I clarify a couple things? First of all, there are a couple.
Yeah, we got Sheldon waiting. We got to pull him in. He's past his time.
Sheldon, you see the Redskins? Anyway, no disrespect.
Real quick.
Respectfully.
Real quick. Unquestionably.
Sheldon's here.
Whoa. Hey,
What up, Sheldon?
everybody. What's going on? I heard something about the Redskins, but we're the Commanders. What's going on?
That's
Redskins.
right. That's right. We don't recognize that other name. Yeah. Hail to the
That's a good
Commanders.
comeback, Sheldon. That's a good comeback, Sheldon. You don't know the Redskins, who they are. Who's that?
You get me? I don't know about them.
Well, if the Commanders don't play better, boy, look, can you bring the Redskins back? Hey, Steve Kim.
Yeah.
Listen, by far the best freshman quarterback in America is Drew Metamaker, the kid at North Texas. He's better than JKS. And number two, and this is a message for all the schools with a head coaching vacancy. Hire the right guy and get out the way. One of the reasons that Auburn hasn't filled their head coaching vacancy, they are trying to mandate that whoever the new head coach comes in, he keeps DJ Durkin.
That's what it was. They got rid of that. They've hired Golish. They hired Golish. You know that.
Yeah, right. But that was why they missed
No,
on the guys.
you're actual 1,000% correct.
Yeah,
That's
they were
why
mandating
some guys turned it down.
PJ Durkin.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And by the way,
Yeah.
I forgot. Auburn did hire Golish. Guys, do you like that hire? They haven't made a good hire in a long time over at that place.
So Ole Miss wanted to hire him. Ole Miss wanted him because he's an offensive guy to replace Lane. It took too long. And then Sumrall was apparently going to Auburn. His wife's alum, where his wife's from. He was going to Auburn, but also wanted the Ole Miss job. That's his dream job, Sumrall. So what happened is last minute, Auburn had no other choice but to go get Alex Golish, and he had to stick with Durkin. So that's what I've heard to be correct, and we'll see what happens. I don't know.
I think Deuce Knight's going to be a really good fit for the Golish offense, the hurry-up tempo. One last thing, the touchdown maker, meta maker, I like him. And I think I'm assuming he's going to go with Eric Morris to his new job. Only thing I don't like about Metamaker, it's a little bit of a low release, but he is a gunslinger. I do think he's really good, but I like JKS too. So those are the two best guys.
Everybody
anyway,
in the country thinks that Notre Dame has the best quarterback for the NFL. Though.
Y'all better stop sleeping on him.
Yeah, he's good.
I like
But
CJ
anyway,
Clark.
All right, Steve. I'll see you Thursday.
talk to you guys later.
All right, shit, Jake.
Hey, we got a. Without further ado, I mean, I don't know if we have an intro for him or not, but here's the thing: in the trenches with Sheldon Day, Notre Dame national championship contender, NFL veteran. Sheldon, appreciate you hopping on. Smitty's not here; he's being rhymes with hey, they, and May. He's doing his thing.
He's in the WNBA negotiations between the union and the league.
Motherfuckers, he's the guy that the women practice against at the JUCO. Smitty's playing defense to get the out there. He's the guy that the women want to play. He's guarding Brittany Griner right now in the paint.
And she's probably dropping buckets on him too.
He's 5'8". So anyway, Sheldon, let me clarify something real quick. So everybody in the chat doesn't believe that I think, and I've heard that Hartline's leaving Ohio State to go to Oregon to replace Stein, who just went to Kentucky to be the head coach.
Okay.
And everybody's like, Art Stein's the coach in waiting for Ryan Day. No, he's not. Because Marcus Freeman is the coach in waiting. Y'all just don't know it yet. Marcus Freeman's the coach in waiting at Ohio State when Day goes to the NFL, contrary to belief. So Hartstein's out of there. I'm telling you right now, you heard it here first. So anyway, Sheldon, I just want to clarify that for the Asian brother at Notre Dame right now representing you guys. Is Notre Dame a playoff team? Fact or cap?
Fact.
So is Miami a playoff team? Fact or cap?
Cap.
But Miami beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, we're talking about when we got beat.
Fact or cap?
Let's go cap.
No. Miami beat Notre Dame. Fact or cap?
That's a cap.
Miami beat Notre Dame. Fact or cap? First game of the year.
Cap.
Look, I knew it. Anyone associated with Smitty delusional.
Yeah.
Hey, Smitty, you are asking a guy whose defense gave up like 6 yards per carry against the Cowboys that came on and said that they didn't.
I know who you call Smitty. Did you call me Smitty or Sheldon Smitty?
He called you Smitty, so that's how we know he delusional. He just
King is. I think something else is in that goddamn cigar.
Hey, my bad, JB. We do got a guy here. Come on, now.
Mother called me Smitty, and Smitty best friend on the show. He called me Smitty.
My bad, dog.
And I'm the whitest motherfucker on the screen. The whitest motherfucker on the screen got called Smitty.
That's crazy.
Well, our question is Smitty's ethnicity.
Yeah, he did. He did.
I have called Smitty like half Jewish multiple times. I'm not sure that both parents are African American. I could be wrong.
Hold on, you can't be a black Jew?
No, that's extremists. No. Shout out to all them out there. No, they look crazy.
That's Candace Owens or whatever her name is. Listen, let's dive into something. I want to dive into something real quick. Sheldon, shout out to you for coming on here without Smitty. And this man right here who won a Super Bowl has been very hard and harsh on you.
No,
you haven't been able to really have a sit down with this man because he's been calling you out and you've been like, man, bring Shaun King on here. Just like AJ McCarron texts me right now, like, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, what's going on? Anything you'd like to say to Shaun King, who calls himself Big King? Because he's been kind of going at you, and I'm defending you here because I'm gonna be your brother today.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I am. I'm a real one like that. So, anything you want to say to this man who's been calling you guys like bad, soft, shouldn't have went for 2? Jaden Daniels gets hurt. You got no wideouts. Running backs hurt. You traded away your best players. Your second years is bust. Anything to address that?
Yeah, Shaun, let's talk about it. Why do you think all those things are true?
Because I feel like when you make it to that level, you have a contractual obligation to play the game the right way. Okay. And the effort that I saw the Washington Commanders play with versus the Denver Broncos is not the same level of effort I've seen previously throughout the year. If I didn't think y'all were talented and competent enough to be better than you are, I would never say anything. And if it was a personnel problem, I would say, you know what? You like the Raiders. They just don't got enough good players. But I feel like out of all the teams that have underachieved this year, Washington is high on my list because I don't think they've played with consistent passion and effort that it takes to win in that league. So that's why I've been overly critical of you guys, specifically that front seven.
So do you have examples of the lack of passion?
Well, I can't pull them up. I didn't know you were coming up because I got a lot of plays where I feel like,
hey, Sheldon, that's like me in small claims court, dog. I had to have the documentation to win.
Like, I could have had all the paperwork, but I didn't realize that we were going to actually delve into this topic. But you can tell me if you feel like that the Commanders, and we're just talking defense, have shown up with the right level of commitment to do things the right way and play the game with enthusiasm unknown to mankind from start till now, then defend it.
Yeah, for sure. So the effort, I wouldn't agree with that, but we could definitely have more enthusiasm. We can see guys making plays, and sometimes people don't celebrate, whether that's from fatigue or just not being excited for them. So I could definitely agree on the enthusiasm piece, but the effort piece, I can't say that. We got guys who 27, 28, 29, still running to the ball, still trying to hit stuff. So, I mean, the passion is still there. I can't agree with that, but I can see you on the enthusiasm. Like, we get somebody who make a sack, it's only 2 people celebrating when it should be the whole team celebrating for a sack or a 3rd down stop or a 4th down stop. So I can agree with that.
Let me ask you, I don't know if you associate that as a word or what, but like if you were winning, you would probably have more guys celebrating. It's a tough season, right? Obviously, it's a tough season when you and I've been there, right? As a coach, like it's hard to get everyone involved when you're not winning, and then you expect that. If you're winning, I bet you would be totally different. And that's just what it is. But do you also say, all right, we're paid once a month or twice a month, the same as everyone else, regardless of winning or losing, we have to play for the man that's gave us this contract or the coach that you respect or whatever it may be in that building. Is there a part of that too that requires max enthusiasm regardless of record or no?
I think every day you show up and try to give max effort, enthusiasm, and stuff like that. It kind of just depends. I know
you've been injured as shit, so I mean, it's not really.
Other places I've been, like we practice enthusiasm, like we'll celebrate in practice. Like somebody get a tip ball, I'm over there running from my other side of the field, celebrating stuff like that. So just practice habits and stuff like that. And it is rough when you're getting blown out at times to still have that celebration. It's like you go make a sack, but you down 30 points. What are you celebrating for? So,
let me ask you: I know you probably can't talk about coaching decisions and stuff, and that's fine. But like you guys go for 2 the other night to beat Denver, played them tough. They're a team that's won 9 or 10 in a row or whatever. One of the hottest teams in the league. Them in New England. Is that just like your head coach mentality? Like fuck it, we're gonna win this thing. It's at home. The rule is we go for 2 on the road, not at home. We tie at home. That's like the old rule. Data's changed all that rational thinking. Is that something you think is just because your head coach is embedded in, hey, fuck it, we're going to go out and win the game? Shaun had a take on the betting side that we're not going to discuss with you, but like, did they screw up seedings by not tying that game and kicking it and going to overtime? So is there any of that ever thought of, like, not amongst the coaching, but like just in your head, like, fuck, we should tie it, or you're all in?
I'm all in. We need wins right now, and we haven't won a game in I think like 7 weeks, something like that. So let's go get a win by any means necessary. So I was all in on the go for 2. We had the perfect play drawn up too.
No doubt.
Nito made a great play. Like he was wide open. The great call. So
yeah, we broke the play down. Like it's a great design and all. It just happens to be when you're throwing hot off a DN, it's tough to get that ball over that guy unless you really you got to throw it early. And Mariota, I thought Mariota played a hell of a game. Probably just that's reps right there. Knowing that guy's hot, I just got to throw it up early and over to the pylon. I mean, it's a tough ball, man. People don't understand how fucking hard of a throw that is. Shaun and I broke it down yesterday. But it's
Cliff Kingsbury, a good friend of mine. Like we actually talked. Jason Simmons, a good friend of mine. I got some guys on that staff. The only issue I had with the play design was everybody can agree with this. It's Jimmy's and Joe's, not X's and O's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to leave the play side end unblocked, I have to rethink it because of who the play side end is.
Mm-hmm.
It's Benito, one of the most athletic defensive linemen in the game. And the running back is coming from backside on the play.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to know Benito's going to be in the QB's face. It's going to be a tough throw.
Mm-hmm.
If he tries to sidearm it, it's hard now to get the ball in front of the guy. Big picture, I thought Denver winning as opposed to potentially tying the game has a huge impact come seeding time in the AFC. Because
but they don't care about that, Shaun. Like I wouldn't care if I'm Dan Quinn. I'm like, fuck your seeding. I'm trying to win a football game.
Yeah.
Like so, I agree with like I'm not gonna. You know damn well we're not thinking about seeding and shit calling a game.
But I think
about another team that we're not even in the playoff hunt.
But I think if the Commanders are 6-5 in that game instead of 3-8,
it's
an extra point.
Yeah, no doubt. I think so too. But it is what it is. Let me ask you something. Sheldon, there's a guy that's gone viral, and he's claiming cap on some of the tweets that are fake. But Abdul Carter, a high draft pick for the Giants, came out, was disciplined, and the second time in 3 weeks under Mike Kafka. And he said what led to the benching. He said, shit happens. I ain't going to get into detail. Shit happens. You asked me the same question. I just answered it twice. We got a video. Go ahead, Bailey.
Second time in 3 weeks. Didn't start. What happened?
It happens.
What happened?
I ain't gonna get into detail. Like I said, shit happens.
Why? Why, Abdul? Like for
asking me the same question I just answered.
So, Sheldon, here's my thing. I've never seen, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, and Shaun, I've never seen so many disciplinary suspensions in my life. Usually it's a fine at your level. Yeah. College, I see it at college, of course. I'm talking NFL. This is NFL I'm talking about specifically. Like, is this something that's normal? Or because Braden Fajoko comes on and is like, man, this is we're fine. Maybe, we get fined for dumb shit or whatever, but these guys are getting suspended. I mean, we saw a guy, Keon Coleman in Buffalo, the wide receiver, several times.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of scenarios this year. Is this a new thing? Is it trending? Is it a NFLPA getting involved? I don't know. You don't have to answer that, but
yeah,
is this something you're seeing more and more?
My hot take is when I was coming up, they would hit our pockets, and that's the reason why.
That's what Brandon said. Yeah,
a lot of us were like, okay, that's the warning we needed. But
so they're not hitting pockets.
They are, but these guys are coming in with money, so it's a little different. Like you hit my pocket, money, it hits a little different. But you come in, you already got money. You hit my pockets, it's not really changing my life. So now you have to raise a level. Okay, I'm here to play football. Now you're taking football away from me.
So I've been right. These motherfuckers enabled as shit.
Here's the issue I have. At that level, JB, if you're a player of a certain caliber, then you're allowed some leniency on certain things. Abdul Carter, I got to address you directly. Dog, you wanted Lawrence Taylor number.
Yeah.
You asked the all-time greatest sack person in the history of the game, could you wear his number? Through 13 games, you got 1.5 sacks. You ain't doing nothing on the field. So to have this nonchalant, dismissive attitude, to me, is ludicrous. Same thing, let's address Keon Coleman. They are dying for a number one wide receiver in Buffalo. They haven't found it since they got rid of Stephon Diggs. Like, you are ass cheeks right now. How you going to be late? Like, I just don't get.
This is the entitlement.
is invisible, that you feel like that you can show up late, that you can do your own thing. That's the part I don't get. And then Keon's at the game laughing on the sideline. Abdul's got the hoodie on like, yo, I'm that guy. You're not at Penn State no more. Right now, you're not very good.
You can't tell me NIL hasn't contributed.
If you look at Abdul Carter's NFL resume in a short period of time there, he looks average as the sun coming up every morning.
But Shaun, you can't tell me NIL hasn't entitled these motherfuckers. There's no way you can tell me that. Even Sheldon said that before on this show. There's got to be self-entitlement here somewhere.
But where's the personal recognition that I got a job to do? I'm not doing my job at a high level.
But Sheldon, you're younger than all of us. You're in the league. You came out more recently than both of us. We didn't play in the NIL era. None of us did. But you can't tell me if you come in there with Abdul Carter money that you got in college, just like Shador Sand and all these other motherfuckers. You can't tell me that I'm not looking at you a certain type of way with a self-entitlement saying, fuck, I don't care what you charge me. Go ahead and hit my pockets. Like, I already got millions from college. Yeah. Like, you can't tell me NIL isn't ruining this thing, man. I think it's killed the game. That's just my personal opinion, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I think the accountability got to come from the players. Guys, we got to start being accountable. I'm just telling you, you can take that league for granted if you want. When you get out and you underachieve and you didn't maximize this ability God gave you, you're going to regret that for the rest of your life.
But I don't think they care no more, dog. I really don't. That's really my take, man. These players that I talk to when I go speak to a team, they don't even know who the greats are at their position. I spoke to a running back. He didn't have no clue who fucking Eric Dickerson was. Had no clue. Like, listen, I get he's older and shit, but damn, dog, you're talking about one of the greatest of all time, and you play that position and don't know who he is. And that's not one singular situation. I'm talking about groups of kids that don't know who Lawrence Taylor is, who Bo Jackson is, who fucking know. Like, dog, they don't care. If they don't know who the best player is, you really think they aspire to be great? I don't see it, dog. I'm just being real. I don't think it is. But anyway, Sheldon, I got a video for you. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, obviously, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, shout out to the Kiffs, man.
A lot going on there. And they've named Pete Golding the head coach. He's the guy that's kind of like a Marcus Freeman when he took over at Notre Dame, when he walked in that room and everyone went crazy.
Okay.
That's how, I'm just letting you know, that's how he's regarded there.
Okay.
He's the guy, the glue. He's a recruiter. He's on that, like, kids love him, all that type of stuff. That's exactly what happened when he took the job the other day on his presser that was recorded kind of quietly. They took cell phones for, obviously, because all this thing that's going on. So they didn't let players in there with phones and shit. But I had a buddy on the show yesterday who was very in tune there and was actually there. Bomani Jones has made a video, and I want to show you this video real quick regarding this hire to replace Lane Kiffin. Take a listen.
Golding, who was a bit of a laughingstock as the defensive coordinator at Alabama. He's the head coach now. And
not the interim, the permanent head coach.
Right. He got they are not doing the search.
Right.
Okay. Pete Golding is the head coach. And I had known him by name. I saw a picture of him, and I'm like, there's no way that man is a head coach. Now, granted, that picture was not the greatest necessarily.
Right. Not with that haircut and not with
not with that beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
does not present discipline. Let's put it that way.
But he had all the leverage in the world, right? Make me the head coach. I can keep this whole thing together.
Anyway, two white boys out here talking shit. Let me tell you something. So this motherfucking white boy right here, and then the white boy with the haircut talking about the haircut. Make it fucking make sense. Now, first of all, Bomani Jones, what the fuck do you know what a head coach is? You think Mina Kimes knows football.
Shout out to Bo.
Shut the fuck up, make me a sandwich. This motherfucker's out of his goddamn mind. And then the white dude with the haircut talking about a haircut? Are you shitting me, old looking red looking at ass? I'm so fucking tired of these normal, regular, nobody podcasters. Like, shut the fuck up. You ain't never coached, played, nothing. And you're doing a podcast talking about what a head coach is and because of how he looks. Did Bill Belichick look like a motherfucker could run a 4.3? Am I tripping? I don't know, man. You got to be shitting me, Sheldon. Can you please tell him who your guy's head coach was? Let a guy follow the thing. Did he look like a certain way? Like, I'm tripping, dog. What? What happened, Sheldon? You good, Sheldon?
So, JB, you saying appearances don't matter? Is that the messaging you're putting out there?
Let's keep it genetically masculine here. Let's not talk. Don't turn into Smitty on this show. What we're not going to do is turn into Smitty and defend a girl coaching. You better not go that route.
No, I'm saying Pete Golden. He a D coordinator. He looked like he spent all day in the D coordinator.
Pete Golden is regarded, Shaun and Sheldon, as probably a top 5 recruiter in all of college football, FYI. So if anyone knows the real inner circle, Pete Golding is considered one of the coldest recruiters in football. As just fact. So I'm just telling you, like, anyone that knows real football, they know that Pete Golding is a go-getter. He's the reason the Ole Miss had the talent that's in the NFL last year, Jackson Dart and all those guys, and this year's team. So I'm just telling you. So, listen, do I agree with the head coach? But here, if I'm Ole Miss and I said I got to get rid of this guy because he's sitting there like telling us I don't know if I want to coach a fucking playoff team, Sheldon, let me ask you as a player. If Brian Kelly, you're about to play Alabama and he said, I'm taking the Georgia job, and he leaves you, let me ask you, what as a player, how would you feel? I just want to get that perspective real quick because I'm a coach talking to you. I would never have left my players. That's just me. But I'm just saying, how would you feel? Because I've talked to Ole Miss players yesterday personally, and they're not pleased, and they're like, fuck the motherfucker. So I'm just telling you, I ain't going to tell you who said it, but I'm just telling you that's what the players are telling me. So what would you say?
So I'm gonna go old school and then I'm gonna go new school. Old school, I probably would have been upset. I came here to play for this coach, and this coach promised X, Y, and Z. So at least ride the wave.
That's what old school, yeah.
Yeah, this new wave, you paid me to play. You paid me to play for Ole Miss. So whether you the coach, I'm getting paid. Whether you here tomorrow, next year, the year after that, I'm here to play for Ole Miss.
Now you're going to be a top 12 of these teams that get selected now.
Yeah,
first time ever in school history.
Yeah. I think the AD didn't handle it the best either. Like, you shouldn't have pressured him into that situation. I feel like that added some animosity to it too.
But you know damn well. But
thank you, Sheldon.
But listen,
thank you.
You guys are on that
the
same
argument. The AD
I don't.
is just as
I don't agree.
As Lane.
I don't agree.
The
Why
AD
not?
got in his feelings.
Sheldon,
Lane
are you? Would you? Who's your rivalry, Sheldon? I got one. I got one for you. No, he didn't. He wanted to tell you he wanted to coach the team. So he wanted to coach the team, Sheldon, and then dabble and recruit for your arch nemesis LSU at the same time. If I'm the boss, you think I'm allowing you to coach Notre Dame and then recruit for USC? Come on, dog. Let's be real here. Let's take the feelings aside. Keep it funky. I got to live in this town. I got to live in South Bend as the athletic director. My guy's dibble-dabbling, and he's already accepted the USC job. I'm going to let him coach and recruit for SC when I play them next year, every year. They play LSU every year, Sheldon. This is not like a crossover and we play every 5 years. This is a top 3 rivalry in the SEC. You ain't allowing that dude to coach your guys, and I have to live in that community that's 10 minutes wide in Oxford, Mississippi. Hell no. I just can't as a man. There's no way I can allow this man to coach the kids when I got to face the music every day in this community. That's all I told Shaun earlier. And I agree, it's mishandled always, and I'm agreeing with Shaun. The calendar is what's fucked everything up, and that's an NCAA issue. But also, I'm not going to victimize and play victim for Lane Kiffin and you make $10 million, dog. I don't feel sorry for you at all, and you can coach this team. You're a grown man. You're an adult. You can make the decision to coach this team. So don't play victim as if, you won't let me coach. You can coach, but you decided to leave and take another job, dog. Like, I don't understand why this is like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, dog. Sorry. That's like your wife letting you go fuck on something and come back and saying everything's all good. Let's go get some Louis. Keep it real. She ain't letting you do it.
Or you give her some nice flashy things like a national championship, and then you be like, all right, go ahead. Go coach LSU. We got our national.
Speak on it, Sheldon.
That's a gamble, though.
Speak on it.
This
Why you gonna
sabotage?
Why you gonna sabotage the potential national title because you in your feelings because he gonna take another job? That's
If was a fifth, we'd all be loaded. If my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle. What are we talking about? If you told me it was a guarantee, Natty, sure. There ain't no guarantees in this thing. This ain't horseshoes and hand grenades, dog.
Well, I know what is a guarantee.
They can miss. He can miss.
I know it is a guarantee. The AD chose a path, and guess what? Both play callers are now in Baton Rouge. So now your chances of winning a college football playoff are very slim. Mm-hmm. I would have rather dealt with Lane double dipping and potentially bringing a national championship to Ole Miss. When the last time Ole Miss won a national championship in football? I would rather let him double dip and we win a natty or potentially have our best chance to win a natty and then he leave than to go ahead and get in my feelings and kick him out the door. And now we probably got little to no chance. He leaving either way.
Hold on.
Sheldon, tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'm
Hold on. We got some people that are very. They don't agree with you, Shaun.
That don't mean they're right because they don't agree with me.
Hey, JB, you gotta understand that though. You gotta understand that, like, if I got a chance to go win a national title right here, right now, why sabotage? I've never had an opportunity like this before. So, I mean, I'm taking advantage of it. That's like you got a chance to go make $5 million. You just go walk away and just go make $2 million. No, you got a chance to make $5 million. Let's go make $5 million.
If I left you, Sheldon, high and dry, doesn't that tell you that I care about me?
No, that's bogus, JB. Lane Kiffin's not the first sitting head coach to leave for another job.
Yeah.
He's the first to leave a playoff team. What are we talking about? You act like this is leaving. Motherfucker leaving Ball State in the middle of the season. Come on now.
Hey, shout out to them Dirty Birds. Chirp, chirp.
Hey, the college football playoff is in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
Year 2.
You cannot tell me the first time, Sheldon, the first time Ole Miss has a shot to go to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And the AD gets in his feelings. And puts the man stuff outside the building, tells him.
I don't understand.
Right.
Listen, I told you I'm on both sides. I'm not going to sit here and tell Lane that this is the issue. Kids leave and decommit and do all this shit all day long. And we say it's a systematic error. When the coach does it, he's a shitbird. I'm not going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to say I am not leaving my guys that I recruited, that I built a program with, to a playoff potential national championship run with high and dry. There's something to be said about a character and a lack of integrity with that. Period. It has nothing to do with hating. I don't got bag checking, pocket checking, none of that shit. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, when I fall asleep at night, I got a problem with myself if I did that to my babies. That's just fucked. I'm keeping it real.
Let's say Ole Miss wasn't giving him what he needed, and he felt like he couldn't continue to grow this program, and now LSU is offering him everything that he needs and he thinks he needs. You still wouldn't leave. So if you were in Lane's position, what would you do?
I wouldn't leave. Here's why, and this is what I would have done differently. I believe what Siski and AJ said yesterday or over the weekend is true. He didn't just wake up 2 days ago, Sheldon. Let's all keep it real, Shaun. And he wakes up and goes, oh, fuck, I got to get out of Dodge. I can't win here. Stop, homie. He's known for at least 6 to 8, 10 months. We got somebody that wants to say something. AJ McCarron, welcome in. Hey,
Sheldon, what up?
What up?
Please elaborate, because you kind of wanted to get into this conversation. What's going on here? Can you elaborate what your take's gonna be?
Listen, I respect both of them, but I'm gonna tell them why they're wrong. It would be you could use the example of Notre Dame. Say Marcus Freeman. Who would you consider your biggest rivalry? USC.
Yep.
And who?
Stanford.
So say Stanford was back to its Andrew Luck days, Sheldon. All right. And USC's at its Pete Carroll days.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just from a team standpoint. And Marcus Freeman's at y'all's stage of where Notre Dame's been at for the last 10 years, whether it was y'all in the national championship or them fighting last year and them making a run again this year. And Marcus Freeman all of a sudden sent his family down. All right. Been hearing
whisperings about him possibly leaving. And all of a sudden, he doesn't even try to hide it. He sends his family on a private jet and puts it out there that he's going down, flying out west to see USC, visit the campus, look around in neighborhoods, high schools for his kids. And then after that, he's taking a trip to Stanford. And all of a sudden, he comes back to you, and he's still not telling you anything. So if you're Keith Carter as the AD at Ole Miss, and you still don't hear what's going on, and you're hearing from everybody else outside of the building at other universities that he's taken one of these jobs, and you're in a small window of you have to make a change now, because if you wait any longer, you're already missing out. They missed out on their first head coach choice. They missed out on their second head coach choice. And now how are you the bad guy? At some point, I got to make a decision, because I got early signing day coming up. I got a one-window transfer portal coming up now. And you're expecting to coach my team that we all believe in this building that could make a playoff run. So now we're well into January in this thing, still without a coach, even though our head coach is the head coach of a rival school. Like, you can't do it. It doesn't make sense. Ole Miss gave him everything, and this comes from sources. And the reason I can say this is because of the people that I know that are connected inside that building. Ole Miss gave him everything he wanted, from a sense of paying him more money. The contract he got offered from Ole Miss was more than he signed for at LSU. Fact. All right. When it came to facilities, everything they've hid, just check the internet. Everything they've done to help him stay focused and get whatever he wants, they've never said no. They literally had the keys to the city, to the building. He ran everything. So if you've given this dude everything he wants, and at the same time, that before he coached the Egg Bowl, it was already a verbal agreement that he was the head coach at LSU, and he still didn't have the balls to tell Keith Carter that he was going to leave. And and right after the game, they asked him, and what did he say? I don't know what I want to do. Like, come on. Listen, it's different from Tulane. This is not a group of 5 school. We are not a stepping stone. Guys go to South Alabama, Tulane, South Florida, other schools like that as a stepping stone to take a big job. This is a major university in the SEC. We are an 11-1 team. You are leaving an 11-1 team with the worst roster that you've had since in a while since you've been there. And you went 11-1 with this roster, and you're leaving a championship team, contending team, to go to a team that's what did they end up? 7-5? LSU? That's not even close. Like, I'm not against coaches leaving. Coaches can leave. That's what Lane Kiffin has worked his ass off for, right? If he wants that choice, he thinks LSU's a better fit, go. It's the prolonging of the process and kind of keeping Ole Miss on the leash and the way you're handling it. No other coach has done this. Did John Summerall send his family down to Gainesville and it get out in the public? It wasn't out in the public.
Yes, it was. I knew.
It wasn't out in the public, King, 2 weeks before he took the job.
No, so here's where you're wrong, AJ. Because here's how the AD should have handled it. What difference does it make if I know?
Before you cook, Sheldon, you got to go?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, go ahead.
So what difference does it make if Lane tells me the Wednesday before Mississippi State or the day after the game? It doesn't matter to me. As the AD, here's what I'm going to tell Lane. I'm okay with you leaving because we did everything in our control to keep you. So obviously there's something about LSU that you desire. We're going to wish you all the best of luck. But if you want your face to be good in Oxford, then go win this national title. Period. Point blank, period. Go win this national title. And your face will be good in Oxford. If I feel like at the end of this that you were putting too much energy to LSU and not enough energy and focus to us, and we go out and we lay an egg in the college football playoff, guess what? Your face is going to be bad in Oxford forever. But I'm not going to sabotage our opportunity to bring a college football championship to a school. You talk about Ole Miss being this prominent university. They're not one of the top 10 football programs in America. So they are a stepping stone for certain jobs.
Yep.
Now, they're not a stepping stone on the same level as a Tulane, a Memphis, or South Florida, but there are better, more prominent, more high-profile jobs out there than Ole Miss. That's not a knock at Ole Miss. That's just facts.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
See, but I disagree, King, because of today's era in college football. Everybody in the SEC and everybody in college football has an opportunity. We've gone to a California mindset. Everybody has an opportunity to be successful. How do they not? It's proven.
Don't tell me I'm no shout out to Cali, but don't put me in that California, because all us play with California guys.
I'm saying everybody in college football has an equal opportunity now to be successful. Everybody. If it wasn't, Vandy wouldn't be 10-2. Oh, what are we talking about? Vandy was an academic school. You went there to be a doctor and a lawyer. You didn't go there to Vandy to play football.
So you're saying LSU is not a better, more high-profile job than Ole Miss?
No, I do not think so right now. I think
you don't think so.
All the mess that they have going
on the national platform, AJ, 100% of the people would agree that LSU is a higher profile, bigger, big-time job than Ole Miss. Not a knock on Ole Miss. Not saying Ole Miss is a bad job. They just are LSU.
No, but AJ's saying right now, not overall.
Yeah, not overall. I'm saying right now. I'm saying the LSU brand, okay, but it doesn't matter where you're at right now. If a school is willing to give you everything you need and they're willing to take care of you, the brand doesn't matter anymore.
It does.
It's why guys aren't signing with Alabama and Notre Dame, because of the gold helmets and the Crimson Tide history. It's based off of contracts and what you're giving them. It's not based off a brand anymore. If it was, LSU would have never fallen off.
So you're saying the AD didn't sabotage the entire thing because he got in his feelings?
No, but because he had to make a choice, King. He had to make a choice.
He still
had to make a choice. If he didn't make a choice, he was going to set the program back 5 to 10 years, because he was going to eventually miss out on his entire staff. By making a quick decision, he was able to save his defensive staff, and he's probably going to save most of his offensive staff, because Keith Carter said, boss move, checkmate, bitch. What I'll do is, if you want to leave and you're saying, and you lied to Marty Smith and said you didn't send out a text message that said, hey, if you're either on the plane or not, you won't have a job if you don't get on the plane with me right now. So that's a fact. He did send that out there, okay? And Keith Carter, the AD, said, checkmate. How about this? All my offensive guys, if you stay, we'll double your pay. Mic drop. And now you got dudes that are playing and seeing and wanting to come back to Ole Miss for the playoffs or for permanently.
So he's gonna name Pete Golden the full-time head coach.
Yeah.
He's
already named. He's already named him. We got. Hey, Sheldon.
One quick period on this. So Golden's the new coach at Ole Miss moving forward. 26, 27, 28. He's gonna sign a new deal.
Yeah.
They downgraded.
They had to, though.
No, they didn't.
Who were they going to go get, King?
Who are they going to get right now?
John Summerall was taken.
If I don't open it up, I don't know who I can go get.
Who are you going to get? The jobs are taken.
It's a bunch of sitting head coaches that would leave.
Better than a guy that has inside information and recruited that roster? God, you guys are missing it. Sheldon, so you know Sheldon, this is Siski. He's an insider at Ole Miss. He coached at Bama and Ole Miss and been all over the place. So Sheldon played at Notre Dame, obviously. You know who he is, Siski. Siski, chime in on this with Shaun. What was that?
I said, "What's up, King? I watched King a long time. He was at Tulane. He knows my guy Rich Rod. So Rich Rod's my guy.
No doubt.
What's up, big dog?
So chime into this real quick and tell us what you're thinking about the downgrade and all this. I don't think Pete's a downgrade, because he's no different to me than Marcus Freeman is to Notre Dame.
I think it's. I hope Keith Carter, the AD, when they have their press conference, I hope he tells his side of the story. A lot of lies being told out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of narrative. Here's the facts. Okay, the players, the things that were told in the press conference yesterday and things like that. Here's just the facts, okay? I like dealing in facts and being real, right? Y'all know that. All right, the players wanted him to stay. That's a lie. One player wanted him to stay. One player wanted him to stay, and that's the guy that's the starting quarterback right now. That's it. Everybody else told him to kick rocks. 2, he went on this deal about somebody forced him off the road. Not true. Somebody was throwing something at his window, but the trooper escorted him to the facility. I know that because he was escorted out of the building by the troopers, then at the airport, then they put his shit on the road. That's fact, okay? But let's don't let facts get away with a good story. 3, LSU offered more NIL money. Not facts, okay? Walker Jones and the Grove Collective and King and Sheldon. I'm not an Ole Miss fan, by the way. I'm just back now. I've been away for 2,162 days. Now I'm back to being a fan. 3 days in a row wearing my Ole Miss gear here, by the way. Shout out to the hottie toddy. Let's go, Rebs. And so LSU offered more NIL. Lie. It's not about NIL anymore. Everybody keeps talking about NIL, but they don't know how the system works. We can't in the media. They can't get away, and it's driving me crazy because all these media and they get pushed this narrative that NIL is NIL. NIL era ended July 1st. Okay, we're in the rev share era. The only NIL that exists today is third-party NIL that has to be approved. This misnomer that schools are going to be able to add $25, $30 million on top of rev share is 100,000% false. It's not even in discussion, but people keep talking about NIL. Here's a fact for you, JB. Here's something nobody wants to talk about. There's a school in the SEC that's in the red paying their players. They're showing this big NIL budget that they have, and they do, but they can't get it to the players because they can't get it through NIL Go. So they got this, it's monopoly money. Yeah, we got this big bank account, but you can't spend it. Okay, but nobody wants to talk about that. Sure, LSU can show a big rap sheet, take all this money, but if you can't get it to the players, it don't matter. And so that's false. And then here's the other thing. He didn't give an ultimatum. That's 1,000% false. 1,000% false. Know it for a fact. All right. How about this? I'll tell you. I'll go ahead and say it. He had contracts drawn up for the offensive staff. You don't know what the situation it is because he had stuff drawn up for the offensive staff before he left, before the game played on Friday. So these coaches agreed to this deal, not knowing Pete was even going to get the job. So now Pete gets the job. Now let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Y'all sound like a scorned female.
It's no fact.
Nobody on this.
You ain't worried about that because I promise you, I'm glad he's gone. I'm the happiest I've been in 6 years.
Let's put some fact into all of this emotion. Nobody said Ole Miss didn't step up to the plate and do what it took to keep a sitting head coach from leaving. Lane chose to go to LSU. Whether that's the right or wrong decision, we will find out. My point is this. Lane would have stayed with Weiss, with all the guys that are not LSU, and coached Ole Miss through the college football playoff. That's my point. So as the AD, why? We've seen it before.
You're a rival school.
I'm not going to sabotage trying to win a championship because I'm in my feelings.
Shaun, you're a rival school. There's no way.
Listen, I don't care about none of that. Pete Golden.
Hell, yes, you do.
No, listen. Pete Golden wasn't on anybody's list to get any open job in America.
Sheldon, are you okay with your coach going to your rival school and recruiting while he's coaching you?
He going anyway.
I'm gonna be honest. I would rather go win a national title because then let's say he loses the national championship and they fuck it up in the national playoffs. Now you can use that against him. Oh, he can't even coach us to win a national title, so that hurts him. And if he wins, now Ole Miss just won a national title.
All right,
so win-win.
Okay, fair point. Let me add something to it because I'm giving coach and player perspective.
Okay.
If I walk in and you see me half the time you normally saw me, and I'm prepping for a playoff run, but you're not seeing me like you usually do, you can't tell me that is giving all-out effort because I'm doing half the job over at LSU already, who, by the way, plays you next year in fucking Oxford. There's no way you should respect that. I wouldn't leave my players that way either and give you half-ass effort. To me, that's slapping you in the back of the fucking head.
Sheldon and King both know as players, if our coach was halfway in And as soon as we went out on the field and shit starts going bad, everybody's quitting on the sidelines, saying, bro, fuck him. He wasn't even in on this. He screwed us over in this game plan. That causes 10,000 more different stories, right? Keith Carter had to make a decision. This is what we're forgetting. And we're talking about it. Yes, Ole Miss could have allowed him. You're setting Ole Miss back. Keith Carter is the AD there. He has to live in Oxford. He has to run a university and the athletic program of a university in the SEC. You can't allow a rival coach to be the head coach of your university and delay the process of finding a coach even more, because even if you wait, there's already nobody.
So let me ask you
something.
something.
There's already
AJ,
nobody.
to
There's
point.
already no coaches out there, and we're in the start of December. If we wait till January, there's definitely not going to be any coaches.
But why
and
do
now
you gotta
we run
wait
the risk of losing all of our coaches on staff.
So if Sunday
What
they
are we talking
announce
about?
Lane's leaving to go to LSU, but he's going to coach Ole Miss through the college football playoff, you can still start your coaching search.
And they
you
did.
know Lane's leaving.
And they did. They've been doing a coaching search for 4 weeks, King.
Right. So
But they
then
didn't, per sources, because the guy that's going to the Gators, the guy that's the head coach of Florida Gators, one of my best friends.
Right.
Okay. Know that whole situation very, very, very well. Everything that went on in that situation. That's my dog. I know that's my dog. I worked with him for a long time. He's my guy. I love him to death. Roll motherfucking wave. Let's go. Okay. I'm all in. So very familiar with that situation. Okay. They've been doing this coaching search for 4 weeks. Okay. The problem is you had Florida open, you had Auburn open. All right. You got LSU was open, kind of, not really, but you had all these jobs, and Ole Miss is sitting there going, hey, we want to get you. And then other schools are putting pressure on them, because if you don't commit to us today, you're not going to have a job. Well, Ole Miss doesn't have a job to offer yet. And so the whole
they're held hostage.
And here's the whole situation. When it comes to Pete Golding, here's the truth. And this is what you got from an AD standpoint. Just put yourself in the AD seat for 1 minute, okay? There's not going to be anyone left to hire. If you got two choices, okay? You got two choices as the AD when all this went down because of the time frame, because what JB said, he held him hostage. Keith Carter has two choices. All right, one, he lets Lane coach the playoffs, okay? All right, lets him coach the playoffs and guess what he's going to have to do when Lane leaves? Guess who he's going to end up having to hire anyway? A guy named Pete Golding. Yeah. Okay. Or he can not sit in a corner chair at the hotel room and tell him to go kick rocks and hire the same guy today and get the players bought into the guy and let that guy have a chance for signing day, which is tomorrow, and bring in the high school kids and also work on for 30 days retaining and getting a package together to retain the guys on that he wants to go there, that the players like Pete Golding more than Lane anyway. So you got to do it now or you're doing it later, so it's better for the program. Because, again, Keith's the one that's got to be living here. It's his job to protect the program. He's going to be hiring the same guy either today or in a month anyway.
The players at LSU love
because of the time frame.
The players at LSU love Frank Wilson, and they're still hiring Lane Kiffin to be the coach. Like, players love coaches all the time, guys. It's not the first time a coach left.
I'm with you, but if Keith Carter knew he had a job open for 4 weeks and he had an actual job to be open for 4 weeks, Pete Golding probably wouldn't be the head coach. He had an open job that he could go interview people and say, hey, this is an offer the job to people. He couldn't offer the job to anyone because there wasn't a job open.
So I got a question.
If he was in LSU situation, if Pete Golding was the interim for the last 6 weeks, hell, he'd have a head coach.
And King, the last thing I'll say for now and let y'all, if Lane was holding it hostage for so long that Lane knew he had taken a verbal agreement with LSU a week before. And when it came to Saturday and he met with Keith Carter and the chancellor and everything, he still wouldn't give him an answer on if he was staying or going until later that night. And then he's sitting in the office in the Manning Center watching the Iron Bowl. And you want to see some interesting fact, look up what happened while he was in there with Pete Golding. And look up what Pete Golding told his ass. That, hey, bro, this ain't your fucking office no more. Go watch the game somewhere else. That's a fact. and all the player leadership. It's a fact that they couldn't get in touch with him. They tried to get in touch with him, and they couldn't get in touch with Lane, and so they went and found him in the building, and he started to feeding them all this bullshit, and they said, "Hey, bro, you can go." Like Siski said, it's a fact that one player wanted him. The player leadership group didn't even want him. They wanted Pete. So
I'm surprised Sheldon don't. I'm surprised Sheldon you were cool with it. Like as a player leaving your guy. Like I just want to throw it back at Sheldon because let me ask you. So let's say you say fuck it, we're gonna play because we're getting paid now, right? You're talking about new school. So I get it, Siski and AJ. What Sheldon said, old school, he agrees with us as far as back in the day when you left us high and dry. New school that we're being paid, it's different now. I'm getting paid by the school. Fuck the coach, whatever. So I agree. I hear what Sheldon's saying, but I'm tripping off if the guy leaves you though and you don't get it done, right? You don't win the natty that you said, let's go win a natty.
Yeah.
I believe that you're going to have even a harsher feeling for that guy when he does leave because you're like, well, what the fuck what is this? Like to me, it's like you got to go and cut ties. Like that's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
I just couldn't do that. Like if I got a chance to win a national title, which AJ, you won one, I lost. So it's like I still got that feeling. Like if Coach Kelly would have said, "Hey, I'm going to coach you through the national,"
Tulane won a natty too. Us and UCF.
My bad, son. So like they got him, and then I still
that don't count. That don't count.
I had an opportunity to go win one.
I'm with you,
want the best opportunity. I don't know. It's just like if I was an AD and I got a chance to win a national title this year, or the program's going to be set back 2 years, the chance of this Golden guy, like okay, let's say he doesn't win anything next year. And then he doesn't win anything the following year. He still set the program back, and we now missed out on our chance.
But here's the question: what have they won with Lane?
Yeah.
Then at least we can delay Lane's recruiting process at LSU.
But let's say you're a big time freshman.
He's already recruiting though.
Yeah, like you're a big time freshman.
He's recruiting the dudes on your team, and he's recruiting the staff on your team. And you don't know, like JB said, you don't know if he's halfway in or halfway out. He's spending time talking to LSU staff. He's working with their front office people. He's having to make calls to their recruits. Is he game planning the whole time for us? Is he actually watching third down? Or is he putting together a bullshit plan? It'd be like if BK, y'all going into the national championship 2 days before that, BK was taking the USC job. And y'all going to Miami to play us, and you don't know if BK's full in. And then say the outcome happens of the way that game went, okay? Whatever the score was. I don't even remember. All right, but the outcome of that game happens the way it is. How does that make you feel even more a type of way? And it's like, damn, bro, I had a chance to win a national championship, and my coach was halfway in. Like, that's even more of an excuse because you don't even know if he was all the way in or not, or committed. And now you have that doubt running through your head the entire time.
So like AJ, that's an assumption. And let me put an exclamation point on why I'm right. Cisco, you said that that Lane has been entertaining these jobs for at least a month, right?
I think since the beginning of the year, but go ahead.
All right, so let's look at Ole Miss's last 5 games. You guys are questioning, can he do both? Beat Oklahoma 34-26, beat South Carolina 30-14, beat something called the Citadel 49-0, beat Florida 34-24, beat Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl 38-19. So up to this point, he's proven that he can do both. What AD should have did was walk in that room in front of those players and had Lane right next to him and said, listen, we want you guys to know we did everything in our power to keep Lane. Lane has something to say. Lane say, guys, I made a personal decision to go to LSU, but we're going to finish this race. I've been doing different things for the last 4 weeks. We're going to finish this race. We're going to stay here, right here. I'm going to do everything in my power to help us win a college football playoff. They're the 7th ranked team in the country. They're getting in the college football playoff. That's how men handle it. Don't get all in your feelings because you didn't tell me immediately what you're going to do. Man, listen, AD walking there, let the players know we did everything we could to keep Lane. He decided to go to LSU. That's his choice. But we're going to finish this race.
Only problem with that, Shaun, is you're wrong.
Yeah, because the
problem is, AJ, he was going to Florida, and this wasn't a rush job. When he was going to Florida, because he wasn't prepping 2 jobs all those games you just mentioned.
They haven't lost a game during this whole process.
It doesn't matter. He wasn't prepping two jobs, Shaun.
Yeah, he wasn't prepping for two jobs. Shaun, you know this. I'm starting to wonder if you're signed with CAA. But he wasn't prepping for two jobs. You know how the business works.
Motherfucker, ESPN.
Even when we're free agents as players, have we ever talked to a coach for real? No, our agent talks to him. Jimmy Sexton was talking for him. He wasn't talking to all these people.
Y'all are saying everything except the one thing that matters here. Lane made the decision to go to LSU, but we're going to finish this race at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while we finish this race, Keith Clark, you can go out, do whatever you got to do to find my replacement. But we're going to finish this race.
Hey, Bailey, put Shaun CAA King under his title from now on. That's what King goes as.
Hey, you telling me if Ole Miss don't win a
Ryan Clark. Go ahead, Sheldon.
So if they win a national title, you don't think that the players will stay together and want to go win back-to-back titles? Let's say everything goes well, like Lane stayed, they win a national title. You don't think those players would want to stay together and the recruits would then come? I'm
gonna use your logic. Old school and new school. Yeah. Oh. Old school, we'd run it back like we always did. Because we did it. New school, you go into whoever can get the most money. There ain't no loyalty in this game anymore.
So why would LSU be
JB says it all the time. It's worse than the dope game.
So if you know that,
come on.
It's colder than the dope game. I'll tell you right now.
Colder than the dope game. Like, there ain't no loyalty to this anymore. It's all about me.
If you know that, then I think the expectation is that we could lose coaches. Yeah. It can happen, but finish the race.
Yeah. King, I just got a text from Mina.
But that's the thing.
I just got a text from Mina, King. She says they're not hiring you.
They chose to finish the race with Pete. That's what we're missing.
Mina just to AJ. Mina texted me and said ESPN was not going to hire Shaun. So I don't know why CAA is being. I don't know why Shaun thinks CAA is going to get him fucking with Mina. So I don't know. But this is ludicrous. It's blasphemous. It's fuck. I'm gonna try to use as many ESPN terms I can for Shaun King. We're not gonna come on this show and do what you're doing.
I cooked
all that
AJ,
shit.
AJ got off his political campaign to come on here and get cooked. I thought Thanksgiving was over. I just baked a whole nother turkey, ham, and brisket.
Hey, hey, audience, listen. Put a thumbs up for the whites. Thumbs down for the brothers. Put it in the chat. Who won today? The whites or the blacks? Put it in there.
Hey, you know what the real talk is though, and this is how this world works. If Keith Carter would have allowed Lane Kiffin to coach in the playoffs, the same freaking shows will be talking about how Lane Kiffin put Keith Carter in the corner chair in the hotel room. They'd be talking. I can't believe that y'all let him coach because it's all they want to talk about.
Hey, you know what can get the AD out of that corner? If Lane and Charlie Weiss, if Lane and Charlie Weiss keep designing them plays like they're doing it, and they win a natty.
Yeah, let's don't let as good as Lane is. Yeah, let's see what there's other guys in that room that know what they're doing. You don't just wake up. There's about 25 people in that room that know the offense. We 12 games into this deal. They ain't calling my wife to go up there and call plays. They know what they're doing. Let me ask
y'all a question. This Ole Miss team is not nearly as talented as last year from an NFL prospect standpoint.
Not even close.
Especially on offense. This is Lane's best coaching job ever.
Agree.
So let them finish it out. They hot.
But listen, have you watched them play? Have you watched them
You sound like these enabled ass kids getting a bag and chasing the motherfucker going 4 schools in 4 years. I'm ashamed in your ass right now on this show as a co-host today.
I mean, I went and watched them play.
Regardless.
I went to the game. I went to the Egg Bowl with my boys. I took my kids. I live in Oxford, by the way. So Shaun, I was on the last staff here. We got fired. So I've been moved 10 times, started my own business, right? But here's the deal: is I went and watched them play. So I didn't have a TV copy. I'm watching, coach view, right? Because I'm up there up there with the peons or the peasants up there in the third row. All right. They ran hitches, they ran fades, they ran Y cross, they ran the NCAA play action post over, ran inside zone, outside zone, counter.
And put up 38.
Yeah. Hey, innovative, baby.
And put up 38. You ain't gotta be complex. You ain't gotta be complex if you're efficient and really good at what you do. They put up 38.
So my point how many people in the building can call hitches, goes, Y cross, post over, inside zone, outside zone, counter, and G?
Well, I guess we're gonna find out, ain't we?
But that's what I'm saying. But like, let's don't act like you're in there running the damn single wing T with play action and shit and triple option. I mean,
Shaun, your credit. You lost credit on the show today because
I
cooked
y'all. Hey,
first of all, you didn't cook. You got cooked. You got cooked. Number one. Number two, you are a JJ McCarthy fan, and he's the worst quarterback in the NFL. And so your credibility has been shot. Your credibility has been fucking shot today.
Hey, CAA King thought he baked something up. He did that viral video of 2 bananas, a cup of peanut butter, and some blueberries, and threw it in the oven that everybody else is baking up too. He thought
Hey, Sheldon. Hey, Bailey, put up the goddamn point fucking detrimental to the team contract. This motherfucker just got minus 14 points today's effort. This motherfucker, he can never co-host again. Sheldon, tomorrow, Smitty's still on BPS. Can you co-host?
I got to practice tomorrow. Can't do it tomorrow.
Fuck. I don't know. You guys aren't even in the hunt no more. But anyway.
No, we still got an opportunity. These people to lose.
I'm just fucking with you. Sheldon, man, I don't want to keep you, man. I know you got shit to do, community outreach and shit. You giving away turkeys anymore for Christmas?
Nah, JB, I am waiting on that picture, though, that you said you did that thing in Compton.
I didn't go. I didn't go that day. I didn't go that day, Sheldon, because I do it all the time, so I don't know how to take pictures. But I didn't go. And I'm real, though. I got true sermon in my van. I just tell you straight out. I didn't make up no story and all that. I just gave it out to the bums around my house. Fucking low lifes. They got fucking Zelle, though, but they don't have no money. Motherfucker, please. Hey, Cole, can you Zelle me? So I can Zelle you on your cell phone, but you're fucking homeless? Get the fuck out of here. I almost pissed on that motherfucker. I don't believe any of those motherfuckers. And don't give no donations to anybody at Food for Less, at Petco, PetSmart, or Walmart. Because unless they show you that the money went to Somalia, fuck them.
Hey, JB, that rant, what was that for? You all right?
I'm good. I just want to make sure AJ gets hurt. McAllen, you can't show that. We'll get banned. So thanks.
Hey, Sheldon, when you've been getting cooked all day, you try and find a win any way you could get it. Now you're mad at the homeless people. I'm going to have me a shot of this McAllen 15 as a victory drink this morning on a Tuesday because I cooked y'all ass all show.
Well, that's the cheapest McAllen you could have. I got a 20 over here. So I don't know. If you want the 15, I guess you can go to Walmart and get the 15.
That's all I got in the locker.
The 20 you can't get. But anyway, Sheldon, appreciate you, brother. Enjoy practice tomorrow. Hopefully you guys get a win. I know it's been a while.
JB, appreciate the time as always, man. Next Tuesday, looking forward to it.
Hey, man, much love, brother. Appreciate you.
Sheldon, before you go, an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. I want to see it this weekend, baby. Enthusiasm unknown to mankind. Tell all you guys in your room.
There we go. We played 12 Central Vikings. Let's do it.
Oh, you played JJ.
JJ got 6 starts.
No, don't start making fucking excuses now.
No, he got 6 starts.
Sheldon played for the Vikings. He not even defending the motherfucker as much as you do.
He has 6 starts.
Shit. JJ's trash. The motherfucker, they handed the football off 35 consecutive times against Penn State. Don't sit here and tell me he's good. Hey, Harbaugh said, I gotta protect this motherfucker. We gotta hand the ball off 35 times straight. He couldn't even run boot naked and throw the tight end in the flat off the motherfucking Y cross. You shit me? They ran Y float, split zone, and they couldn't even throw that motherfucker. He ran it 35 straight times.
Hey, AJ, you'll appreciate this. I blame Josh McCown.
Hey, they fucking ran. They told JJ, hey, you better play fake the fuck out of these. That motherfucker he was seating that motherfucker so hard in the back. Get that motherfucker to the back deep. Get it to him deep. That motherfucker's got to read the mic and jump cut that motherfucker. Get that ball back there fast. And then I want you to boot. I want you to boot hard, Shaun, and hold the goddamn free safety. And that motherfucker booted out of that motherfucker. The fucking back hit the fucking A-gap and was split flow zone, hash number sideline, his motherfucking rules. He got hash number sideline when you get through line of scrimmage. Guess where JJ was, Shaun? Motherfucker was over here holding the goddamn Sam. He was holding the goddamn Sam. They ran it 35 straight times, Shaun. Stop defending this sorry motherfucker.
Hey, AJ, Hey, Josh McCown's in Carolina, coaching Bryce Young. Bryce Young is like the worst quarterback in the history of the NFL. They got Josh ass out of there. Now Bryce regularly throws for 300 plus. Josh done went to goddamn Minnesota and fucked my dog up. When I had my dog, he was elite.
Sheldon, I'm tired.
I'm blaming Josh McCown.
Hey, you gotta stop smoking all them cigars, JB.
I don't even inhale. I'm just tired.
Hey, JB hit 5 bootlegs.
Hey, I'm tired. Hey, if I had to hand it off 35 times, there's no way I could take a 3-step toe hitch. No fucking way.
Hey, Sheldon. Hey, if you sack JJ, just tell him, say Shaun King say he available. Tell why.
Hey, man. Great debate, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Go watch AJ and T. Rich today. Go watch McCready and Siski,
really,
right?
Yep. He really out of breath.
Is it Siski McCready or McCready Siski?
McCready and Siski.
McCready and Siski. Go watch it on YouTube, man. Much love. AJ and Notre Dame rematch with Sheldon.
Hey, AJ, we'll get you this time. I know y'all.
Hey, Sheldon, did you catch AJ shade? He was like, I forgot to score and shit.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
He know the score.
Yeah.
He know the score.
Yeah. I listen. I don't hear. Yeah.
Y'all hear. The
Saturday,
ring's down
AJ.
in the safe. I got to go check to see what the score was. I'm going to pull it out and look on the side.
Hey, AJ, good luck Saturday, too.
Hey, Shaun, go drink that Walmart McAllen. Siski, man, much love, bringing the heat. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, man, on More Food Wednesday. Peace.
Peace.